So last week, you guys, you started up from, you're still in Rundle's house. In fact, that house got so much use out of it for what, for that map. You guys sent Yelwick away. Akuma had his farewells with with Narissa for the time being, and then sent her away. Guys tried to tap in on some of your people NPCs you sent around to get some intelligence, but it seemed like they didn't find anything. So you guys headed to Cadman Forest to the Sylvanas Temple. You guys got there, and then you got to meet Priest Bellaril. Determined that he was not a Amalian ally, as he didn't seem to even know who the hell they were, and then realizing that the rendezvous date mentioned was 2 days away. But you guys had an interesting conversation with the priest. He gave more insight into that three-way battle on the astral plane, because he gave kind of his first-hand account of it. And
Thorn wants to fight a bitch.
Yes, Thorn is. I think Thorn is up first for asking questions, because that's where
so many questions. Wow.
And just watch him be like, "Be gone, Mr. Thought."
It's like, all right, I'm gonna end your whole career, old man.
I'm like,
let me show you how we do it on Mrs. Turf.
We all know if Thorn turns and smacks this man, we will all be attacking and blaming this man, because Thorn would never, in our opinion,
what
do
you
such
say to
a
my brother?
horrible thing.
I am like,
right? Of course.
What the fuck? You, of course, were the first person who would attack. Thorn would never attack first.
We in the Sylvanas Temple only associate with true neutral gods, not your neutral good gods.
Well, that's the problem. I'll just beat you in your own house, old man.
I have a sling bullet. Do you want to know what my sling bullet is? Lemon heads.
And then Clint Eastwood comes out from Gran Torino. He was in the tree.
I am chocolate, lady. I will fight you.
But he gave some of his but on the nature of, he mostly spoke, the gods he mostly specifically were mentioning of were more the nature deities. But then he was asked to possibly try to commune with Sylvanas one more time, which he said you need the night to perform his what you guys found out was referred to as the sacrament, so that he at least can get that level spell slot, because he doesn't have it in his current state, but he can get it if he burns some incense and whatnot, and some other things that he may be growing in there. But you guys are, if knowing that the rendezvous is possibly a few days away, not sure when some people might show up, he said you're welcome to stay if you so choose. So he's not. But we switch over. Here we go. We can pick up from there. We'll just start with Thorn, because Thorn was itching to start, but last week, but it was but we were right.
Right, I'm always dead at that time of night.
We were in the Twilight Zone at that point, so it was.
I tried to write down some of what I wanted to ask him in advance, so I'm so sorry if it gets out of control.
No, it's okay. I was trying to find it got to a certain point last week when I was trying to find a place to stop it, but it was like, oh, he's in the middle of it. Just gotta get through this, and then we can resume it when there's more energy.
By the way, DJ's totally vibing with you, Thorn, if you want to keep him with you.
I'll sit him as, like, the forest. I'll just sit him awkwardly on the ground, like, this is where owls belong, right?
on the ground.
DJ kind of like cocks head quizzically, and then just stays there.
Gives him a pat and is like, I appreciate you.
Just the most confused expression an owl could give you.
Yeah, that seems like an owl thing to do. Yeah, give him some good pats. Does the old man just want to talk in there, or like, I don't imagine it's super private, just somewhere quiet, like off the side to have a chat.
Oh, he'll if you want to talk to him, cleric to cleric, he'll go wherever you want. He can go to the side. He can, or wherever you want to go.
Where's he most comfortable? Because this is his home territory. Like, look, I don't know why y'all keep saying Thorn's a cleric, but look, he'll do his best.
He would, he probably would like it back here.
Yeah.
It's private enough.
Oh.
It's
Whoa.
there's not a ceiling in this place, so it's not an entire echo chamber, but
Right.
it's so long as no one got excited, you could have a private conversation.
Fireball, what?
Tycen is totally chilling in the tree studying. He's like pouring through everything he can. He's not really talking to anyone. He's just like, where did this go? No!
While you're doing this, he does seem to just be like kind of starting to collect some what you would suspect might be spell components, specifically for, or what we would consider to be spell components for something of a Sylvanas type of prayers and whatnot. Being nature, it'd be a lot more nature-based. And
oh my god, I should have put this wall of text on my phone so I could look at both. Oh well.
well, you can what you can do is you could create a note and paste it into FG.
That sounds like a lot of work. It's fine. We'll get there. Maybe I'll just move it over here. I don't think Thorn wants to get in his way, but if there's anything he can help with while they're just kind of walking and gathering things, that would be cool.
Okay.
I think he's gonna start just by being like, so my introduction to the divine teachings was, I understand, a little bit different than typical, I'm told. Would you be able to explain those holy reserves again? Are they something more physical that could be disturbed, or more on the divine level that we typically draw on?
They are more to the divine. Wouldn't say that they would. Wouldn't say that there's a specific location where they're at. If they're anywhere, they're in Mount Celestia. But they're more in. They're just a collection of magical energy that the gods, or each god is obligated to set aside for those who perform the sacraments. And as far as I'm aware, that no one has been able to disturb them. And I believe the only way to possibly slow any way to stop them would be to cut them off at the source. Even in which they were, it would take possibly centuries for it to fully drain.
That is a horrifying thought. Well, good to know that. You mentioned several times that you'd been left without directions. Can you tell me what the teachings of Sylvanas generally are?
Sylvanas specifically is the nature, or was claimed dominion over of wild nature. In older times, there were clerics like us who would heavily defend nature, more specifically the uninhabited areas. Cadman was one. Certain parts of the Sylvan Forest. And, some places in the north. And it was very much our mission to make sure that the urban areas did not expand. Or at least fight as much, or expand too much, and we got involved when we believed that there was too much of an intrusion.
Understandable. That is sort of the whole natural situation at hand. Or is there any specific creed that Sylvanas has? Or is it just keep the urban areas kind of contained? I feel like there might be a bit more to it.
It is complicated sometimes. We've been, to a degree, we say that it said that the city limits stop at the tree line, or more so the farmlands. They've done more to the nature than more or less the cities, but the cities need the farms. There were some times when we would have a more call to arms. It's been quite some time since that happened. Before me.
That must have been some time ago indeed, then.
Yes, it was, I believe, before the Remnar Empire was that ever on the table? During that time, then the focus changed a little bit.
To anything in particular?
Well, during the Remnar Empire, there was those in power had a much greater connection with a number of deities, particularly Bane. Some consider that time to be quite dark.
Do I know Bane? I know Bane out of character,
Yeah.
but
Go ahead and give me a roll religion. It's not hard.
you say that, but this is Thorn.
I guess it is hard. You're not exactly. The name has come up, but you don't know.
No, when I say my divine dealings were a bit atypical, could you? Who is Bane?
Bane was is the god that claimed dominion over tyranny.
Well, that doesn't sound very fun.
No, well, depends on whose side you're on. It is widely believed that the Remnarian Empire came to power with the help of Bane, and was maintained with a lot of his help. During that time, though, Bane didn't have complete dominion over the land at all. He encouraged many of the deities to compete for influence amongst lands, and part of it was fighting, compete for influence, and then raising armies to fight the fiends when they weren't having their own blood war. And it was it was a different time. Actually, that would be selling it short. But during that time, the Emperor was a lot more swayed by the influences of the temples and... But, a lot of that changed after the Empire fell and which was shortly after the battle I spoke of earlier.
Right, of course, I imagine. That was indeed absolutely terrible.
Yes, well. But since then we've gone off the old creeds of guarding nature, but we never really recovered our strength.
That's where I'm confused, because if you're doing these things and you're following the creeds or whatever words were left to you by Sylvanas, even if it's as simple as guard nature, protect that which is important to your god, where was the confusion about losing your way? That's really what you're supposed to be doing. You have the teachings.
It's true, we have what we were initially told, but in terms of reasons why things were lost was that most of the people that were given them firsthand perished in that battle on the astral plane.
Right, an awful lot of the followers did get murdered out there. That didn't help, no.
Yes, and with the few of us that remained, and we... Well, yes, we have the teachings, but back in the day when Sylvanas was more upfront, we would occasionally get advice on where to go forward, especially in times of crisis. If we needed guidance to handle the situation, and when we lost the vast majority of our clerics, and then receiving little to no guidance on what to do after that, it kind of just started falling apart from the inside.
Thorn kind of squints, like he's trying to be compassionate, and he understands what's being said here. He just fundamentally disagrees with it. He's trying to be a polite person about it. Like, he takes a moment and just nods politely, taking it in. I don't think you need to be led by the hand anymore, though. You are an esteemed cleric, as you've said. Was it you called yourself the last cleric of Sylvanas? Was that more or less accurate?
As far as I'm aware, all those that I knew that survived have they disappeared long ago, or they passed away.
Did you ever try sending to them? Just check up on them?
Yes, the ones that I don't know if they're dead. Some would reply, and eventually it would get less and less responses. Yes.
He's like nodding again because there's so much he just wants to shout at this cleric, but he's like, we're gonna circle back to that. That's a later thing. We're trying to be productive. So he's
Thorn's
just
in a state of like, okay, we'll handle what we have to handle first, and then I will have a shouting match, and then we can leave.
Right, so I know you're tired. You've mentioned you survived just these terrible horrors that we can barely imagine as you're describing it to us. And my friends and family over there, and he'll like nod to the others who are doing their things.
Why did I draw a dick in my page?
They're wonderful and I love them. They've said as much to you. They want us to beg the gods for miracle and intervention, I think, for answers too, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'd love answers as well. But I know how frustrating it is for them, and you especially, because you... Is it correct he's told us he lived in a time where he, like, was vibing with the gods before they bounced, or is that just stuff he heard about?
No, he said that he was there, which that was some 600 plus years ago.
Yeah.
But although he wasn't he definitely was not a high priest at the time. He was like 20 years.
Sure.
He was, to be like, just to give you, just kind of to quantify this, he was 20 years old. So
wow, he was my age.
Yeah, so he was. It's not like he knew the inner workings of everything going on at the time.
Thorn's new life goal: one up this old man for being a shitty cleric. Alright. And Thor's like genuine when he's talking about this, because again, I know I sound very sarcastic about everything. I promise Thorn's being a good lad here. But he's gonna mention, like, it's heartbreaking that we live in a time where the gods can't interact with us more closely. I don't think it's a matter of them turning their cheek and not caring about us. They obviously do. I mean, if the gods saw fit to grant everyone who's begging for a blessing, like, we'd be drowning in miracles, though. I don't think that's what we need.
This entire session is gonna be about this, and I'm totally okay with that.
Just to be clear, was that last part in character? I think, or did you say that?
Which part? The laughing was not.
No, not that. But the
But yeah, everything he said about
Okay.
they want us to beg the gods for a thing, and yes, we do need to speak with them or a proxy therein, but if, like, everyone was getting blessings, we'd be lousy with miracles. Like, they'd be everywhere, and that's just not how it'd be. Like, it's so easy for people to say, to, praise the gods and everything they teach when things are good, but when things are bad, so many people, like, and I get it, they can be mad, they have a right to be mad and upset, those are very valid feelings, but, again, it's our work we put in, too.
it's I get the impression that you think that we, at least in this temple, have not tried to maintain what we had.
Thorn's doing everything he can to, like, not say, yep, you guys suck, but it's like, we all make mistakes. Things were difficult for you, and especially what happened in the Astral Sea. Like, I can't imagine that. For all the words you've shared with us, it must have been devastating.
Well, I ask you, Cleric of Mistra, you have a high priest, correct?
Ooh, well, yes, there's a high priest at the temple, Mistra. I'm really more of a student myself. Like, we're throwing around the cleric word a lot. That's really not...
I know, that's why I'm asking, is that you have one, at least somewhere.
Yes, and he says this with like an raised eyebrow, like he's interested and curious where it's going.
Well, I had one too. And he was more or less one of our generals in that fight. In the alliance that we had formed. And so were a lot of the other high-ranking clerics. When the battle started, they were almost on the forefront of that fight, and a lot of them were killed in the early parts of that battle because the other armies, just like we knew how they would be, knew that if they took out the hierarchy, we would be left leaderless. But the point that I'm getting to is that nearly all of them were wiped out. There was but a few of us, what you would refer as you called yourself. It was a student, more or less, that survived. We were suddenly the only ones left. We had not been trained on the structure of the temple, or our connections where we can, or the knowledge that comes with the job. It never got passed down to us. And we basically had to attempt to start from scratch almost. And the one thing that even the original high priests had in the beginning, and that was Sylvanas during the Age of Gods, before he ascended to Mount Celestia, we didn't have anymore. We were given an entirely broken temple, and it fell upon us through the old creeds to do something that had never even been done by the clerics before, and we did. Many of us did our best. I've spent 500 years trying to bring back what we had before, but when you have that shot, it's a temple or an order under a deity is it's a fine-tuned organization.
Thorn will nod and mention I'm so sorry for the losses that happened there. It seems petty and completely unnecessary, and there's the smallest flicker of anger as he mentions and just a waste of resources. But out of character, based on all the maps Thorn is super excited about that he's ever seen of Rindico over the years, what does the forest situation looked like here? Has it ever been bigger in the past as far as he knows?
Roll history.
Oh boy.
18. The Cadman has shrunk a little bit in size. The forests in the north have kind of maintained their shape, but not a whole lot has come to settle there. The forests in the biggest forest that definitely shrunk significantly was Minadel.
Alright, okay.
Yeah. But I guess then I just want to ask, is that if loss is taking loss out of consideration, if your high priest were suddenly gone and you were suddenly the most experienced cleric in all of Mistress Temple, would you know where to start?
Thorn just kind of blinks at that, at like just the idea that there will be a day where High Priest Thuribal is just like not a thing. Just kind of like takes him for a moment. He's like, huh. That will be a terrible day. Not looking forward to it. Speaking purely hypothetically here, of course.
When Thorn is the high priest.
Yes, well...
Because he's also thinking, I mean, clearly, obviously this guy doesn't know his grandpa is also, like, much, much more skilled. And also the thought of grandpa not being there one day is like, oh god, these are thoughts I don't like. He, like, takes a moment. I would continue doing exactly as she's left the instructions for us. I'm trying to be understanding of your god because again, I don't have an entirely great grasp of all of the deities outside of Mistra and her pals. Sylvanas didn't seem to leave you a great deal of instruction, and maybe that's just as well. That's sort of how the natural order goes. It's, you know, just a lot of wonderful chaos and all things around us. That's how that goes. What I have to work with is a whole lot more specific, and that involves stepping up when things are trying to endanger my realm, and ending them by whatever means necessary. That's what I intend to do. I would be very grateful if we can find a way together to help make that happen more swiftly without anything untimely happening to you, because
You're threatening him now, Thorn.
May I ask a personal question?
Go ahead.
And I do apologize to touch on this morbid subject, but as you are potentially the last and most experienced of the clerics, and he uses that word like, again, it's a weird word considering how he's been brought up with his kind of divine work. But if you were to perish, what would that untimely and most unfortunate death mean for Sylvanas, if anything? If you are truly the last one to keep Sylvanas' teachings alive here on the mortal plane, and Laucian is sort of prancing around with all of this absolute nonsense and falsehood about Sylvanas, what does that mean?
It means that Sylvanas no longer has a direct influence on the material plane. It means
Again,
that...
Thorn in his head is just like, well, he doesn't seem to have much of one now.
Yeah. It's like, the rituals that it takes to tap into his holy reserves would die with me. They're not with the knowledge of how to perform them. And there would be...
Before you die, I'm gonna need you to sit down with me. We're going to write this down because we have wildly different gods. But I'm not about to tolerate the loss of knowledge and that kind of magic leaving the world. So I would appreciate it if we could have some record of that, because you've been suspiciously hinting that you are exhausted and tired and close to dying, and I don't mean to imply that you're just going to keel over in the next couple of days or whatever horrifying things might come to pass, but you know, precautions are just so important.
When you brought up taking or writing down his knowledge and whatnot, he until he tenses up.
What
Well,
seems
it's-
to be the matter?
It may be my intention to take that knowledge with me.
Why?
Like I said, the Holy Reserve. Like I said before, the Holy Reserves can be tapped into literally anyone that has this knowledge. As long as they complete these sacraments and follow the very, very broad or very basic guidelines, anyone can then wield the power of the reserves, which is why every high priest is responsible for maintaining that knowledge and not teaching it to any person on the street. And
Sorry, continue.
And considering that the destruction I saw by all those who were using this power in these more or less proxy wars that the gods set us up for back in those days, I don't know if that destructive power should belong to any mortals, at least the reserves that I can control. Unless Sylvanas sees it fit to tell someone else, which he has every capability of doing so.
Do they? You mentioned it yourself. If the gods were capable of speaking to us right now, they surely would. I'm sure they have fascinating things. And I would love to hear from them. It's true, I've never spoken with Mystra directly. Definitely tried. But those who speak for her, and I don't mean the High Priest. He is wonderful and his guidance is greatly appreciated, but I would be on this path without him, without any doubt. I mean the divine contact that we share. And from what I've spoken of with them, and with everything that I am, I know their intent to be good and true, and you can give me whatever side eye you want for saying good, but the same would be true of Sylvanas. I think. I mean, I'm not... I got some questions about Sylvanas, but I wouldn't be fighting so hard if I believed otherwise.
It might very well be true that in terms of like being under Mystra, that you would be on this path. But
Right, Mistra's wonderful. I don't mean to rub it in. I'm so sorry.
No, I take no offense, but my point was that every deity is different. Every deity has their own agenda.
One would just think Sylvanas was a little more interested in the forest, in the natural order of things. You kind of being the representation of Sylvanas here, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, by, this affront to nature, everything Laosion's doing, portals ripping open, absolute nonsense over the most, what I understand, to be the pettiest of reasons. It's all we can do. It's our absolute duty to act in the face of that. Even if I disagree with my allies that we should beg the gods for an answer, but...
I agree, everything that can be done should be done, but...
So you won't try to preemptively take that knowledge to the grave, will you? Because doing everything you can means staying alive to help protect this world.
The thing is that while in the past this may have been used to preserve nature and whatnot, even if it were gone, nature is not without guardians.
Oh, of course not. You can look at Lia as proof of that. She's the most amazing druid I've ever met. I haven't met many druids, but she's certainly up there.
Yes, and quite honestly, in the last 500 years or so, the druids have actually taken more of a role in preserving nature than any of the nature deities that I'm aware of. But and that was part of the reason why there didn't seem to be much of a call to action. While when we were trying to reorganize, and follow the creeds, the need for action seemed to have been taken over by others. The role of taking action was taken over by others. On top of not just the druids, but those that arc beings that descended much later than the fiends and deities, such as the Fae. From what I have found, the Archfey actually have a much more vested interest in nature because the Feywild is very connected to the material plane. And ramifications here can sometimes cross over. They tend to be much more involved, and have been involved in these last couple of years.
Have they?
Yes,
In
and
what ways?
well, brief backstory of it, during the Age of Gods, when the deities, or what we know now as the deities, rose to their power, along with those that fell into darkness in the Nine Hills. When they began to rise and began to leave, there were still others on material plane that were ascending to power, and the Archfey were later to develop their power, especially when there's such competitors. But they were mostly in the background during the Remnarian Empire and prior to the battle on the astral plane. But after that, when the deities were absent, more or less, they seemed to fill the power gap. Though they didn't do it not necessarily as directly as deities and devils do. Or more or less their influence-wise. But in those years, they took on more of a role, and the druids, as well as the druids, and thus, while there's been some reduction in nature, it's been more or less in balance for it's been in a fair balance for quite some time, despite us not having to carry out any of Sylvanas' old creeds.
Warren's like nodding thoughtfully at this, because it's like the mention of devils keep coming up, and they've encountered one. It's on his mind, but he doesn't want to super bring it up. Actually, oh god, how far back in the notes is this?
When did you encounter a devil?
The one that was kicking that angel's butt.
Oh, that one.
Was Thorn also here when we experienced that one fiend that almost killed me? No, Thorn wasn't with us. Yeah.
No.
Are you talking?
Okay.
Are you talking about?
Was I with you guys then?
I'm pretty sure you were here.
If you're talking about Malsumus, he wasn't a devil.
Yes.
Nor a fiend.
Okay. All right.
He was a djinn.
Okay. He
was
looked
a
like a
djinn.
fiend to me.
Yeah, no, he was. Yeah, he was.
Ifriti looked pretty mean, but yeah, they. My first thought was the Abishai that you guys saw, but that was before Thorn.
Oh.
Okay.
That
I
was-
was gonna say, out of character, I just love the fact that it very much seems that whether he's saying it out loud or not, it very much seems that Thorn at some level is both, or either embarrassed or ashamed to be a cleric.
He just has a very different view of like what the duties of a cleric are, especially having met so many that have this opinion of woe is us, we're so lost without our gods. And Thorn's like, yo, my girl, she right here, like she gave me instructions, I'ma follow them. Like y'all need to get good, like we need to be better, we can't
Although-
like be whining about it. That's what
Although-
sets us apart.
But aren't you also saying that you have exactly what they don't have?
Huh?
How so?
Well, you say, "Here's my girl, she's right here." He's saying, my boy's not here," and that's the problem.
Right, but plenty of people have made it seem like it was the direct line that wasn't there, right? And that's the same for Thorn. He can't phone up Mistra and be like, "Well, girl, how you doing?" Like he would love to, but he can't. He's tried. But like from the gist is even had I don't even remember this poor cleric's name. The dwarf's name. What is his name?
This dwarf,
Yes.
Bellarel.
Jesus.
He's on the comp. I think if you put your cursor over his token, his name will show up.
Ah, yes. Bellarel. I didn't forget your name. But like he's basically saying the same thing, that if he were to do what Thorn does, he wouldn't even get like the answering machine, like the other divine proxies that Thorn talks to, kind of deal.
Oh, that if he were in your level, more or less, and he were to try to do what you normally do. I'm confused by the question.
Well, no, it's more like even if Thorn, for some reason, was put down to Bellarel's level and was cut off from all of his clerical stuff, that wouldn't stop his faith. He'd be like, the reason I am working for Mistra is like she knows I'm resourceful and clever and studied and intelligent, and I am that resource for her. Like, you need to be that for your god, kind of thing. Like, you can't be waiting for them to hold your hand and lead you along. Like, you see what's wrong in the world, go fix it. That's what your god's kind of hoping for. That was just the general
background.
I don't know.
It's like,
But that would be like the general gist of what he's trying to convey, but in a more polite and compassionate way.
oh yeah, and Ryan, where do we leave off?
I think that was basically it. Like, if he would at least consider maybe having some of that info preserved, or at least anything else that comes to mind would be incredibly important. Because, like, look,
I remember he
Thorn is all for Mistra, but he is also just very fascinated and respectful of deities in general, so the fact that there's just so much horse shit going on with Sylvanas is just like, he wants to do something about it. Like, it doesn't sit right with him that this is happening, but he was previously under the assumption that all of the followers were just garbage.
All the followers are dead. Except him.
Well, maybe they should have got good.
I'm sorry they can't live 300 years like some people, but...
Well, also, in all that time, this dwarf is saying he didn't find a single person to pass the teachings on to, like... Dude?
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, this guy sounds like an extremely shitty cleric.
Right, and that's coming from Thorn! So, like... that's
Yeah,
kind of like his stance on it. And again, he's too polite to just say that out loud, but boy, he's thinking it. He's like, no, you need to be a better person.
Anyway.
But yeah, if he needs any help getting his stuff ready, because Thorn also has divine shenanigans he would like to help with. Also just getting his permission to like maybe walk the perimeter, do some magic tests around the area, because boy, look at this crazy old shrine in nature. When's he gonna get over here again before it gets leveled?
Yeah. Alright, he'll do that. So his thing is gonna take the night and would be available at the next morning. What was there more you wanted to ask him, or was that it?
No, I think that was the general exchange. He wanted to feel this guy out, kind of share his thoughts, try to like uplift and inspire. Like Thorn is incredibly judgmental on topics like this regarding faith and like, oh, like you're not getting what you want, so you turn the other cheek. Like, no, you stick with it and do the job you were given, kind of thing. Like, you got your instructions. Thorn doesn't see what the problem is.
Yeah, he's still here. But, okay. Yeah, he... But, we can move on from there. Tycen, I saw you move, so... Are you checking out the tree? What?
Oh, I'm just vibing in the tree. I said at the very beginning, Tycen's literally just chilling, sitting in the tree, pouring profusely through his notes, looking for anything he could have missed. Just anything.
The only other thing I don't know. Did Thorn at some point name drop High Priest Theraval at all? I did want to see if he recognized that name.
Mm-hmm. You did name drop Theraval.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did not react.
Cool.
In fact,
that's all.
In fact, he, like, especially since he asked if you had, like, assuming you had one, so it can imply that he literally might not know what the hell's going on with other ones.
Dang.
Especially one that's entirely out of his sphere. Is like entirely
right.
out of his.
We're on very opposite deific spectrums.
Yeah. Anyway, is there anything? Uthal. Of course, the day Uthal looks like he's doing his thing when he tries to communicate with Yama and whatnot, as per what he was kind of asked last time. Lia, what does Lia do? Lia does this. Is there anything?
Yeah, DJ's not moved from where Thorn's placed him down and just seems very looking around like, I am a fey creature. This is not where I belong. I feel weird. And Lia, like, fluffing his feathers. It's a brief moment of like, wait, who's touching me? Oh, hello, friend. And instantly takes the first moment available to hop on Lia's shoulder. Just, I'm off the ground. Good. We're happy. I'm on a person. I have a perch.
Man, it's like he doesn't have wings.
Mr. Tycen has instructed me to obey Thorn. Thorn set me here. Does that mean I just stay here? I have 3 intelligence. I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh my god.
Thorn never placed DJ on the conveyor belt because whatever's on the end is whatever's gonna happen.
This seems like where Al goes.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
Into like it's like it's in a lumber mill.
Oh no. Just into the blades, like, yep.
Well, I guess I die. There goes my hit points. Have fun buying 10 gold of incense, Tycen. You did this to me.
You did this to me.
I have plenty of incense. I bought a shit ton.
Alright, Akuma is while Thorn is having his whole big conversation, Akuma is gonna take a second and just to be on the safest of sides, he's gonna do detect magic.
Okay.
I'm gonna ritual cast it so he doesn't use any charge. Actually, no, that's not. I don't even use a charge for the staff. So yeah, just tap it on the ground a couple times. Detect magic.
Okay. And you just kind of going around the temple.
Yeah, just kind of examining whatever he can.
So.
Like, yeah, giving the dwarf a once over, giving the temple a once over.
You don't get a whole much from the dwarf. The temple more or less gets. You can tell that there's a faint level of transmutation magic. That kind of starts when you get into the interior.
Transmutation magic.
Gibraltar's gonna wander off into the forest and kind of get a solid lay of the land, especially to try to find what areas would be good vantage points to be able to see a large portion around the temple.
Noted. Go ahead and roll me a survival, just get an idea of just how well that goes, and how many bears show up. No, okay. 50. More than there's probably in the lower peninsula of Michigan, but yeah, you get the layout. I will say with an 11, you do kind of find the main. You get an idea of the main paths in and out of to this place, particularly mostly on the east and west directions. But in terms of like in the woods, it's not as clear when you get into the thick of it.
All right, letting the guys know where I am, I'm gonna try to sit somewhere where I can stealthily watch the pathways as best I can.
Okay. Anyone else? Why the? Oh, that's why. Anyone else?
We have no way of knowing how long this time frame's gonna take, right?
I mean, if you're waiting for him to do his thing, we're talking that.
Oh no, he's gonna take like 80,000 years.
Yeah.
But no, like after the talk, I imagine Thorn's gonna like go do probably the same thing Akuma did, where he's just like, checking for magic, getting an idea of what potential battle situations are, because like he got tactics on the brain. He wants to know what's up.
Okay. Yeah, mostly the same thing with transmutation magic.
Yeah. But... He looks both simultaneously a little more determined and annoyed after that talk with the cleric.
You don't know me. See what I
You don't know me.
He's like, you ever seen an astral skiff split in two over the bow of another one?
Yeah, I saw it
Couple
out
of
there.
Things I want to do.
You seen it when people are still screaming? When the
I have a couple of things I want to do.
Okay. I'm kidding Thorn too. He's not doing that.
So,
Oh yeah,
Oh, you're
yeah, I know, I know.
DM, I just,
Oh,
Sorry.
what's
just
Gibraltar?
thought, so forests are a favorite terrain, so doesn't that mean I get advantage on wisdom checks in those?
Oh, I believe so. If that's the case, you want to roll survival again. Okay.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, I would say
That's
then
what
that. Yeah, then I would say with that, then you would definitely able to find a good vantage point. Probably probably in this kind of a tree that you're perfectly capable of climbing without issue. In which case you definitely have a good view of any of the likely paths that you think that something would take based on what you found.
Perfect. Moving on.
Okay, back to Tycen.
Oh, I want to kind of, going through my notes, I want to go through the different items that Laucian specifically has written. Does it seem like from what I've written, or not from what I've written, from what we've learned from everything we've done, he only had these plans? Or does it seem to allude to a final plan that we've not learned about yet? Like the Mion plan, the Toysiak plan, and the... I thought there was one more plan.
One second. I have to pull up some notes that are possibly so old they're not even in Fantasy Grounds. And only because I started putting notes in Fantasy Grounds about halfway through the campaign. Back when Word was a thing. Yes, there was, of the Toysich plan. The Mion plan.
The Maid
Okay.
Seer. The Maid Seer
Yeah.
plan appears to be the only one we don't have any information on. I believe.
I will say it is the
Hold
only one. It is the only one. You would find that it's the only one of the plans that is not specifically laid out by any of the documents you found.
So the Maid Seer plan. Okay. We still don't know a lot about that. Next, I want to spend the time and I want to cast Identify on the tree. I choose an object that I must touch the casting of the spell. I believe the tree is an object of some kind.
Yes. I guess it would. Unless it was a treant. But it's,
If it is instead a creature, I learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it. I believe, but yeah.
Yeah, you find that it's not a creature. It appears to just be a very, very, very old oak tree. like impossibly old. But if in terms of magic, though, it does seem that there is magic sustaining it, though. Mostly keeping it in its current, more or less its current point in its life.
Okay, and then I just want to inspect the tree, kind of using the broom, flying around it. See if the tree's reacting to anything, if it swayed particularly towards Thorn when Thorn walked away with the cleric, if it seemed to not necessarily have a form of intelligence, but have a form of like knowing the direction of things, or have any lingering power that it seemed to come from. I'm basically inspecting the whole tree, and I just kind of want to know the general gist of what I feel coming off of this tree.
Roll nature.
Okay.
Yeah, it in everything that you can tell from it, it appears to just be just appears to be a tree that is being magically fed.
Hmm. Okay. I do have a thing I want to do while the guy is sleeping.
Okay. Is there anything before that? Is there anything anyone else wants to do during the day? Otherwise, we can just start moving ahead in time.
Yeah, we can. I don't think there's anything specifically, unless there are specific kind of yes/no answered questions people have that Thorn can ask his Mr. Peoples through divine shenanigans.
I mean,
But that's like an any time of day thing.
it's less of an... It's more just... Is there anything you can do besides what you've already done to help us? And just kind of less imploring for immediate divine intervention, we're definitely going to need it in the coming, and more, please cast your gaze a little more fully on this direction. And praying for guidance, and just literally fucking anything is what Tycen's feeling. I would like to connect with everyone else and just briefly... We'll do that tomorrow, actually.
Alright. Then I will jump us up to midnight. It is actually, on this night, it is clear, and it is now a full moon.
I would like to find a kind of casual place to start secluding my... Kind of start creating a small, not hut, but like a camouflaged area.
Okay. Inside the temple or outside the temple?
I would prefer inside the temple.
Okay. Is this
That's all on your own, Tyson?
I would mention if Gibraltar would be willing to help. I'm just kind of trying to find out. I'm just trying to kind of hide an area.
Yeah, if he came to grab me, I'd come and help him out with it.
Yeah, I'd
Okay.
definitely come find Gibraltar. Gibraltar's got much more experience than Tycen does.
Okay, I guess you can roll survival. You can roll with advantage if Gibraltar helps. All right. You get a nice kind of a shelter that looks fairly like a bush from the outside. It's a Fortnite bush. You
Okay,
can
I'll
walk.
kind of like set it right over here in the air. Yeah, that's. Thank you for making the reference. I appreciate that. Bush meta.
You know, I was in one time and someone walked right past me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. But anyway.
my favorite's the snowman.
Yeah.
Anywho, are you ready for the nighttime thing?
Yeah.
Okay, just kind of before nighttime, I'll have DJ slowly just kind of be a little bit closer to the guy. And once, like, I'll say once he's been asleep for like 2 hours, I want to cast Identify on him.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you don't find any magic currently affecting him.
Alrighty. DJ will kind of just chill there since that's where he was when the dude fell asleep, so DJ will just kind of vibe there.
Okay.
And I have a thing real quick just
Oh,
before
yes.
we time skip.
Go ahead.
Just remind me real quick. We haven't been through any combat today or anything, right? Just
Correct.
we have everything, and we're not really expecting any today, right?
As far as you're aware.
Correct,
nope.
yeah.
Okay. And remind me how deep this water is.
I think it was 10 feet towards the middle.
10 feet. Okay. In that case, I would first I would go ahead and ask Father Belor if Beloral if this is sacred water, is it?
He would say no. It's not.
All right. I would. I guess before acting stupid, Viran would ask him how the pool formed. Has it just always been here?
My memory, it's always been here.
I see. How warm is the water?
It's I wouldn't
Feel
say
normal for summer
yeah,
or
it's
whatever season is. Okay.
Yeah, it's normal.
All right. It's not particularly, cold, right?
No,
With
it's
an open roof.
Yeah, it's kind of it's just kind of in that just regular non-heated chill that you get. It's not like it's spring fed or anything where it's freezing cold, but it's just kind of close to air temp.
All right. Would I be able to stand on the inner edge without my head underwater? I'm asking because heavy armor.
Yes.
All right. I want to just get in and just try stomping the bottom, just exhausting all the options here, because I mean Tycen can't figure anything out. As as cool as the conversation between Thorn and the priest was, that didn't. I feel like we didn't learn a whole lot. So Viran's just like, he'll try that.
Okay. Yeah, you stomp around on the bottom. It feels it's got a sandy bottom with a
Oh, it's sandy. Okay.
a little bit of like mud mixed in, but not so much that it causes it to be murky. But it feels like the kind of the normal bottom of a pond.
Hard-ish, hard enough to be. I'm gonna do an Arcana check. Either is it okay if I do an Arcana check just to
Yeah.
see? Okay.
Yeah, it's
It's a normal pond.
It's a normal pond.
It's a normal pond. Okay. Well, with that failure, he will climb out, and his cheeks are red, obviously, but he just goes to cry in the corner. Just no, he just goes to wait here. Just good tactical position, I guess.
Akuma, do you go to a corner as well?
Gotta get those corners.
Yeah, 4-corner bingo.
I actually had a question. If, like, is it rude to do, like, stuff for spells trying to contact my god's people in his temple? How's that? Is that okay? Should I, like, step out to do my commune?
It's
Then how you would feel too. Some people are just like, I don't give a fuck, I'll contact my deity whenever I want.
Well,
I
like,
think-
no, Thorn's still trying to be respectful, even if he thinks this god and this cleric are shit. But like,
I think you get the idea that he doesn't care about that.
okay, but
So-
it's okay by typical cleric-y norms as well.
Yeah, assuming that your like temples are on hostile terms, which they're not.
Right, and he's not trying to blaspheme. He's like, yo, I just
Yeah.
also want to hit my people up with
Okay.
for some knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yay! I don't know if anybody else had stuff to do before I asked those questions. Also, did anyone else have questions? Because, like, I know Tycen be wanting, like, the gods to turn their gaze closer at Thorn's like, I don't think they can. They can look, they can't do a whole lot. Like, we're the acting forces of the god. But if there are no questions, I will have 3 of mine, maybe. We can ask, like, I was literally gonna see if I could get a beat on Lausian with some of these, if anybody else has shots in the dark they want.
Oh,
Yeah, it's,
I have a question
we
for
might
you.
not get...
Tycen has a question,
Okay.
but he would like to ask Thorn this in private.
Yeah, for sure. And, like, Thorn will make it clear this is what he's doing if anybody else has requests. Like, it's not secret.
Thorn?
His probably looks real different from Valoral's. Like, his is all his notes just scattered around in this pile. It's a mess.
It's like a more organized version of or slightly less or more organized version than Tycen.
Well, just like vast amounts of notes and study and research and like all of these, you know, just theorem after theorem and all of these things set up that his studies have been. And looks up like, yes.
I have a question for you.
What's on your mind?
Or a question for your deity. I don't know how to word this, so I'm just gonna say it outright. Do not take it personally.
Of course not.
I do not feel like Theraval was being 100% upfront with us, and I feel like he's hiding things.
I think he's hiding things as well, but I think we have different reasons for thinking that.
I know, and I'm of the assumption personally that the things he's hiding are not pertinent to our mission. He is simply just hiding things. But if you could ask your deity if Theraval's
These do have to
secrets-
be answered with yes or no or unclear. Just so.
if Theraval's secrets currently endanger our mission. If they don't endanger our mission, then I don't believe we need to worry about that. But if they do, then we have to take anything he said with a grain of salt regarding the mission.
Well, to an extent, everything we've seen and encountered has been a... We've never found Laosian. That's what troubles me the most, Tyce. We've
not
only
found
found
Laosian.
evidence of what's been going on. It's all under Laosian's name. We have not actually... And, like, yes, everybody says they're encountering him, but I have thoughts on where he might be, and I've also got a question that might help us with that. I'll just have to figure out the wording. But yes, I can absolutely ask that. I think that's an important one. Because I don't imagine, even if he didn't realize it at the time, I'm sure Theraval wouldn't want to endanger us by that.
And maybe if you could ask if this cleric of Sylvanas
Thorn, like, kind
a
of
danger
scrunches
to
up his
us.
face, like...
if this... Tycen, like, literally struggles also with the word cleric. He doesn't think this
Thorn
person
politely
worships the
just-
deity at all. But
Right,
it's like,
just-
you see a similar, like, struggle between them, but it's kind of like, they both lock eyes. It's like, we're just going to say it because we just need to kind of get this out of the way.
Right.
I need to be direct.
Of course.
If they are also a danger to us.
That might need slightly more clarification, because anyone with a stick is a danger to us given enough determination.
If he intends to betray us.
That might get us an unclear, because
or intentions
anything
of
in the
acting
future.
suicidally.
Okay. Well, that I can tell you for a fact, yes, Tycen. He will deny it. He intends. I asked him so politely if he had any knowledge of Sylvanas that might be passed down through other generations, because he's... Tycen, I'm trying to be good about this, but he's done such a bad job. It's terrible.
He really is.
He's let this place go, and this is nature. It's supposed to be let go, but he's done practically nothing. The forest has only gotten smaller. That's sort of what his whole deal is about, is keeping that sort of flourishing, but I'm being too harsh on him. I'm sorry.
And the fact that in all of this time, he's not gone out and even tried to find someone. The aggravation.
It is frustrating. I'm trying to be understanding that he... Literally everyone in those stupid wars, like... I have questions he won't be able to answer. He's shed good light on it, but there's still something missing there. And it upsets me that I don't know. But yes, I
think
without
we
a
should
shadow
delve
of a doubt,
into more of this.
Absolutely. He
Later.
does want to take that knowledge with him, by the way. He wasn't going to give it, so I suppose that's unfortunately lost.
Well, the other question you could ask is Mindardus coming here? Because
Right.
if he's not coming here, we have only received evidence left there. It could have been left purposely for us to find, and if Mindardus is not actually here, or intending to come here within the next couple of days...
Right. Location is something I want to pin. Yeah, we need eyes, we need some on them. And it doesn't help that I don't know what Laosian looks like, or if I do, like, even if has Akuma seen Laosian? Because I think Akuma's the only one who can disguise self with that sort of deal.
Hold on. He's not seen Laosian. It's only been me, Viran, who've seen him.
And neither
Me,
neither
Viran,
you
Lia, and I can't do disguise self. But hold on, I want to check my spells. Because I may not have disguise self, but I think I have like minor illusion and such. Hold on. Maybe. My cantrips are so far. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a cantrip by the toe.
It should be at the top of spells.
Oh, found it. Well, I've got my ritual caster stuff above it.
Oh.
I don't have it.
That is unfortunate.
Okay.
But
Okay. Here's what I'll do then. I'll try tonight, while you guys are resting, to draw as best an image as I can of him. Because I saw a major image of him, which we also have to take with a grain of salt, because I've never actually seen him. I've seen an image of him. And the other
Right, that
concerning part is
might-
we've only, in the span of this whole time, Vanuath has been made out to be the big, fiery, most powerful, but I've only seen Mindardus once. And I'm of the assumption Mindardus may be more powerful, or at least more important, than Vanuath. Which worries me.
where's Gunvor?
Gunvor? That's north.
Just pulling up my map from reference. Ugh. Yeah, okay. God, that forest is huge. Okay. Yes, that's where I am. We are right next to that. Okay. And that
The
is
other
Mindardus
question.
Forest.
Hold on. I have another question. Where's my thing? I made a list of them. Oh fuck. I have so many notes. I have to go back into a particular note area. Okay. The Swamp of Oblivion, or the Fountain of Creation. We've already run across the Frostfell and the Great Conflagration. Are either of those portals active right now? Or about to be active, I should say.
What were the names again?
The Swamp of Oblivion and the Fountain of Creation.
I think
Because we saw
Swamp
them.
of a
Swamp of Oblivion was erosion of soil, water contamination, and oversaturated farmland. It was the Great Conflagration, which had the ash storms, the water contamination, and the blocked sunlight, and the Frostfell with the radical decrease in temperature. Those were the two
Right.
we ran across. We've not run across the swamp or the fountain. My assumption is this is going to be the swamp. And our final confrontation will be the Fountain of Creation. But we don't know. Is this where he intends to open the Swamp of Oblivion?
Swamp of Oblivion or the Creation one?
Fountain of
That might
Creation.
be-
Yeah.
I could phrase it in a way
those-
that asks both. Like, are they planning either this or this here?
And they'll answer yes if even one of them is planned to open here, which will answer both of those questions
it will be
then.
very helpful, yes. it could also be unsure, but here's hoping
How
for
many-
the best.
How many questions do you have? Would you mind if I
3?
helped you write down? No, that I shouldn't do that.
Well, we
you-
could
you-
have more than 3, but, and this is getting into territory I'd rather not do, I could make another attempt, but the results will no longer be accurate. They could be misreads. And
Let's
I'd
not do
rather
that.
not. Yeah, let's not get that mixed.
Tycen's eyes kind of go wide. Oh shit, I completely forgot. I think Lia can do something like this with nature.
Can't she? That's fascinating.
Lia!
Lia, group
I
huddle.
think I inhaled some dandelion.
What the fuck?
Oh no, I'm choking on the lore.
Tycen like turns. Lia smacks his notebook up and a dandelion just bursts in his face.
Prestidigitation it away.
Idiot!
She looks
Lia's
at you.
I would you be able to, like commune with nature? Not maybe now, but tomorrow night, maybe? As long as we're not dead.
I can't. I can. To what end?
Because maybe rather than asking a deity, we can ask the deity, of course, these questions. You can do that tonight, correct? Right, Thorn?
Yes.
We can ask a deity questions related to things that the Earth would not know. And then tomorrow, we can ask questions that the Earth would know. The Earth would remember such a massive event as those two and be able to tell us where a certain event possibly is. Or give us more definitive answers about the ground that people tread on. So the 3 questions we can ask can be a little more ambiguous to the deities and be, or not ambiguous, a little more questionable. Things that maybe the Earth wouldn't know. And things we can ask the Earth could be things like, is Mindardus on his way? Because the Earth and the nature will feel him coming.
Potentially. I'm slightly worried.
I mean, some things
Well-
we can double ask questions.
Right, of course. The more information, the better, honestly.
So, okay. We need to narrow it down. We don't want to risk getting negative answers or strange mixed answers. So let's not do it a second time.
Okay.
And figure out what 3 questions we want to ask.
I think one of the questions I've just got out of the way is phrased in a way that would be like clearly my intent is conveyed, because I'm a big dumb with words sometime. Is like, do the Amalians plan to open the Swamp of Oblivion or Fountain of Creation here, like at the Sylvanas Temple? Does that
Okay,
one
that's-
sound legit?
That one's a good question to ask.
Okay.
By the way, this is not just like, oh, at this point, once like Tycen's talked about the whole Theraval question, he's brought Thorn back, so anyone else can join in the conversation.
Right.
By the way, he just wanted to ask the
Bedtime
Theraval
talk.
question in private. So
Right.
if Viran or Gibraltar or Akuma have anything they want to say or ask regarding questions, we're not hiding anymore.
I don't know. It all just seems odd. Like, I sense transmutation. Okay, first off,
Wait,
as someone who knows,
transmutation. Pardon.
anyway, so
Transmutation?
Let him talk.
Wait! Maddie, what do you mean transmutation? Akuma, what do you mean transmutation?
DM, as someone who knows enough about magic, I think you said it was transmutation in the temple, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Would I know, like, just knowing enough as I do, would that seem odd that I just sense that with detect magic I sense transmutation magic within what is supposed to be a holy temple?
In terms of what's in a holy temple, it could be anything. In terms of what you're seeing before you, and that's a whole lot of what seems to be a magically sustained mini environment, which is something that would fall under the realm of transmutation magic. It's not all that insane.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Example, plant growth is a transmutation spell.
Got it. Okay. All right, I got confused.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
I
it's
love
not
to
so
think
much
of this
Harry,
moment.
Yeah, it's not so much the Harry Potter definition of it.
I love to think of this moment as like Akuma purchase. Yeah, I sense transmutation, and then like Thorn and Tycen both looking like what? And then Akuma starts processing a little more thickly for just a second, like full on. Like, wait a minute, I sense transmutation. Hold up.
Yeah, it was inside the temple. I used detect magic, and there were traces of transmutation magic within the temple. It could mean many things, of course, but I don't know. And again, again, he claims to be the last of his, I guess, his faith, if we can call it that. And again, the fact that he isn't trying to spread it, the fact he isn't writing it down, the fact he isn't trying to bring more people into the fold, like, oh, these are the teachings of Sylvanas, these are the principles, and all that jazz. It seems odd.
There's a moment where like Akuma says that and Thorn's just like, oh, you're very right. Oh no.
That could be a question, but I don't think that's a question we can ask today. But a question we could ask would be, is he truly the last follower of Sylvanas?
Is that something the nature folks with Lia would know better? Because I'm not sure my deities would be keeping an eye on that.
In regards to what commune with nature spell does, it is not in that realm of
right
stuff. It is commune with nature is very different than from commune. She can mostly ask a couple things that the subject areas in which knowledge can be obtained is like terrain or bodies of water, prevalent plants, minerals, animals, or people, powerful celestials, fae, fiends, elementals, or undead, influence from other planes of existence, and buildings.
You're building.
Yeah. There's one here. Now the knowledge is this pertains to a radius of 3 miles. So basically everything in the square that that you guys are currently in.
So, not as helpful as I thought.
Well, I mean, if you were your question about the planes, if shit was going down, if shit was underneath this temple, then
that spell would answer that.
This whole thing just seems off to me.
Okay, so what is... I agree. We definitely need to, at some point, suss out whether or not he is actually the last surviving member of Sylvanas. I would hate to see a religion just die off.
I think that's his intention, isn't it?
It is his intention, and I would hate to see that.
I don't know. I don't know all that much about religion. Even although I've established, I think, some form of understanding with everything that we've been through and seen and done. Again, as I said, he says he's the last one. And as far as I know, any sort of cleric, any sort of holy man who loves their deity and who wants and respects their own faith wouldn't just let it die.
It's upsetting to say the least, and
I have
this he also told us that his deity told him and the rest to keep the war a secret? That's something, huh?
I have a question for DM.
Mm-hmm.
Have we run across any other person who has had a symbol of Sylvanas or in any way mentioned Sylvanas besides like Laucian, who's been besides someone related to Laucian?
Nope.
I'll just mark down that we need to definitely ask at some point if he truly is the last surviving follower of Sylvanas. I'll put it under our list of like, if we have no more questions, we can ask this.
Right, and out of character, I've got the, are the Amalians gonna do their thing here? I've got the Therival question. Was there a third that I've completely blanked on? Or maybe I could use that to see? I don't think Mistra and gang
the
would know,
question.
But... Oh, could try and ask, like, if is in a certain area, but again, not sure. Again, these are shots in the dark. I don't know if they all fall under the domain that I can get info from, but we're trying. It's
The
knowledge.
last
It's all
question we
knowledge.
could ask. The answer, the question of if one of the disasters is going to be opened here does not answer the question of is Mindardus coming here.
Okay. Oh, Mindardus.
So our third question could be, is Mindardus coming here? Because that is a very easy yes or no answer.
It's like 2 days away from their intended day they were gonna do this.
Rendezvous with.
We're talking of like
rendezvous with the Gith.
Oh, okay. No, I thought they were like coming to the temple for a thing.
Yeah, that's where they. It's when they were going to rendezvous. They were going to rendezvous here with the Gith.
That was just for the Gith? Oh no, my brain.
But we murdered them.
Right.
We murdered the ambassadors.
Oh god, we're super in the wrong spot, guys.
So as far as we know, this.
Oh my god.
We're just in the completely wrong place.
You only stopped one end of that line of communication from getting it, and that was the Gith. That was a message from the Amalians to the Gith to meet here.
There could still be a Gith to the Amalians. Conversation.
Okay,
and
well,
there's no promising that. Yes. Okay. Do you mind if I sit in with you while you ask?
Yes, it'd be fascinating, actually. I think aside from grandfathers from present, and well, no, actually. No, because I wasn't able to do this, so nobody's, nobody's sit and do it. I'd be fascinated to know how it works when someone's nearby.
And I would like out of character or in character, I just want to be watching Thorn and see what happens to Thorn while the spell is being cast. Like, what reactions to the area and the ground around him occur, or is there any sort of arcanic or divine change that occurs once the casting of the spell is complete, or if it seems like Thorn just reaches out.
Exorcist level convulsions.
Yep. This is Mister's temple now.
Yeah. Okay.
But we can deal with that like after Thorn's asked the questions. I'm just kind of like curious on, does the wind kind of blow a little strongly? Is there a slight glow to Thorn's eyes? Is there at least evidence that there is clear power?
So, okay. So, in terms of order of events here, this Bellaril is going to do his thing in the morning. Are you intending to do this before he does his thing, or after?
Before, because I have it today, and there's no point wasting slots if I don't have to. If we can get other questions the next day and see what he tells us.
Then we do the questions now.
Okay, so he's got like his paperwork all set out and like organized, and he pulls open his journal as he did before, unlocks it and everything, gets it open, seats himself down, straightens up his coat, and will perform the ritual to commune.
Okay.
Tycen gives brief back massage and then, not knowing what to do, just sits down nearby.
Aww.
And the first question, and again, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing because he will talk forever if we let him. But it's gonna be the same as before Shini with how he like does the whole thing of like, obviously if it's not Mister, he recognizes it, introduces himself even though he doesn't have to, and goes through this whole thing before asking the actual question. And the first one, do the Amalians plan to open the Swamp of Oblivion or Fountain of Creation here? In this area.
So I am going to follow the second part of the spell and give a little bit more, because if I say yes or no, it will mean a million things.
Yes.
No. You get the response. Hold on. You get the response. They have already tried. You have already thwarted them.
Okay. I can't relay that to Tycen, even though like how I get the information. Yeah. I'm curious if he sees any of it, or if it's all just in Thorn's head. Yeah. We'll do that question last. The next one would be and again, so polite, so cordial, thanking for the information, and all that. And then, does Mendardus intend to arrive here in the next several days?
Yes.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh, that was a one word. That was a definite like yes. Oh
no. All right. And then of course like, and like, not with any less confidence, but more quietly and respectfully, because speaking of his high priest, just and if there's a way we can just word this better so it conveys the intent better, like by all means, but the gist of it is, are the secrets that Therival is keeping from us endangering our mission.
No.
Oh, wonderful. Good to know. And of course, big ol' spiel with like, thank you so much. Well, maybe next time, mister. Maybe. And, you know, wishing them a good night wherever they are.
Yeah, she's not listening.
Oh, she's not. Never stop
I just
them.
love to think of the one-word answer of the Ismandartis coming. Yes, Thorn sweat profusely.
Oh, Thorn just like does a blink of like, oh, oh no. What did that look like from Tycen's perspective, DM? What did he see?
Yes.
Let's say you were in like a kind of like a prayer pose, but
Thorn
and
would just be like looking
facial-
over.
your facial
With
expressions
book.
would have reacted.
Okay, so he wouldn't have seen what I see for the answers.
Correct.
Okay, that's fascinating. I love it.
And there's no arcanic eyes glowing or anything.
No, there would. I think in terms of how Thorn would do it, there may be a slight glow of what looks like a blue star, but that kind of showed up when like at the peak of the spell and then dissipated at the end.
Okay, kind of like around the holy symbol, I would assume.
Yeah. As if it as if the holy symbol took on a light form, rose up briefly, and then disappeared when it was done.
Okay, Tycen will tell Thorn all of this. You were in a prayer type pose. I could see your facial expressions reacting. I could tell you were receiving something. It was like you were having. It was like how I would assume a person reacting to one of my message spells would respond.
Well, if they
They can respond telepathically.
They're very limited with this. One day I would absolutely be able to, you know, speak more clearly with them. And, you know, mister. But anyway, good and wonderful and terrible news. Good news. The secrets they're both keeping, not endangering the mission. Pretty good. Like that.
Wonderful.
That was a definite no. The Omalians planning to open the Swamp of Oblivion or Fountain of Creation here, they already tried and were thwarted.
They were thwarted.
Mm-hmm. That
Tycen
raises...
kind of turns, looks.
Right.
Tycen kind of turns, looks over at the dwarf dude, and goes, "By this beesh?"
I also struggle to believe that, especially... Well, Laucian probably wasn't with him, so we should ask about that. We should ask about that, because again, this doesn't specify the time. Maybe they tried a long time ago. I don't know how old the Amalian shenanigans go, if history's just repeating itself or some nonsense.
Wait,
Who knows?
where's Gibraltar? We can ask Gibraltar to inspect the ground and to see if he can find any sort of indication as to an attempt made like that.
Oh, absolutely. But before you rush off to ask him, the terrible news. Mindardus is coming here in the next several days. Just reach out, take his brother by the shoulders, like, we'll deal with him.
Tycen
And he just starts
takes an action,
hyperventilating.
pulls out a wine bottle, pours out a small shot glass, and just chugs it.
Oh, I guess, well, you could have that. Never mind.
Just let him drink. Just let him drink.
George was like, "Oh no!" Tycen corks the bottle after taking one shot and just goes, "Okay, clearly was not enough alcohol. I am an elf. This did not work well, according to me." Set the shot glass back in the
You need
bag
about.
of holding.
Yeah, I was gonna
Set
say, you
the
need
wine
about-
bottle back in the bag of holding.
Your
You need about 4 of
tolerance is
those.
incredible and awe-inspiring. I hope to one day reach that level.
This is terrifying.
Good news that we know he is coming here if we remain and do something about it. I probably could have worded that better because I don't know if Lausian's coming with him. That's my bad.
I don't think Lausian would be coming with him, to be honest. It would have been good to have a true answer to that question, but
We could perhaps get more clear answers in. And he's like, you know, closing up his book, getting everything packed up, brushing the leaves off his shit and everything.
would asking tomorrow if nothing occurs hamper again or be a risk?
Oh no.
Or
If tomorrow comes around, should be fine. Should be fine.
we could possibly ask a few questions about Lausian. A few of the less important questions if we've determined he's on his way. But I believe
big
our
question
goal
as
for tomorrow.
well- Sorry, there is another spell that I could bring that I would have even more insight into things that we would. That's really up to us. I'm not sure what we'll be facing tomorrow. Because again, several days could be literally in the morning. So who knows?
I would say bring it just in case, because even if we do run into an issue tomorrow, we may still have capabilities. This is not saying hold anything back. This is just saying we may have capabilities of in a moment to ask questions, and I would rather be prepared than not.
Wait, I'm sorry, me out of character. I'm a dummy. It's the other spell that gives you a casting it. This, there's a 25% chance that you just won't get an answer. So we could have more questions today. I've got more fifths. I've only used a fourth for Death Ward.
It's also
You're great!
Oh, no.
Boop!
I was reading the wrong spell. I almost said it was a ritual. Actually, it is a ritual. You don't need spell slots.
I think... But it's like, that's the only way to cast it, I think. No, you're right.
Nope,
It is
nope.
ritual.
Ritual is not.
Oh my god.
Ritual is not required. It just doesn't. If you are a
Yeah,
ritual,
so we could...
if you're a ritual caster, you just have more options in casting it.
Oh my god, I literally thought this whole time you could only ritual cast. Well, we do have more questions if we want to keep risking getting no answer. It resets tomorrow. So if there's any more rapid fire questions, we just want to get through, because I don't want to spend too much time on it. I'm so sorry.
We could try.
we-
Do we want to try one more time?
Yeah.
And see if we can get
it's there.
specifically an answer to. Is that that's a cumulative 25%
Yes.
chance?
So we're running the
Of
risk. We've
just-
got most like another 2, 3.
Well, that's just after the first casting. If
But
we
right,
if
it's a percent.
25% chance that we will get no answer means nothing will come to you.
Right.
In which case, let's just not push it any further after this time. But if they do come, they'll answer all 3 questions.
Yeah, so we could just go for question. Because
Let's try one
it'll-
more time,
Yeah.
and we'll ask the question: is Lausian coming?
That is a good one.
A second question: if a second question we could ask is Sylvanas aiding Lausian?
I don't
Because
know that.
we've been assuming this whole time that he's taking Sylvanas' name in vain, but what if he is not?
What if Sylvanas is just a shitlord? I mean, he sounds like he is. Yeah, I could ask. I don't think we're gonna get a super strong answer there, just because totally opposite ends of what my gods know about. But we'll see. We'll see. It'll be fun.
I mean, really the only third question I could think of at the moment would be, is Gunvor really the last follower of Sylvanas? The last cleric of Sylvanas?
Right.
It's not asking
and-
about his teachings in particular, but it is just asking in general. Mr.
Right,
may not
and-
be able to reach out and suss out who that person is, but they may be able to sense the divine protection of a deity.
Yeah, that's fine. I can ask that one. Is there any other question we want to ask besides the is Sylvanas in alignment with Laucian? Because Laucian himself was like, haha, everyone's a dumbass for believing that Sylvanas is the one leading us. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know about that thread. They're all kind of druid. More than like.
Are any of the gates open now?
Do we
and
have
just
like
not been
specific names to plop in?
The Forge of Creation and the Swamp of Oblivion. They said they tried here. Are they open somewhere else and just haven't affected us yet?
Okay. Alright, I can ask these real quick. And again, same thing, real polite, does his greetings. Question 1, is Laucian coming here in the next several days?
No.
Oh no. Then the next one is the Fountain of Creation or Swamp of Oblivion opened elsewhere.
No.
Okay, that's wonderful. And last is Beloril, the last cleric, or I suppose like the intention of his meaning, like the last. Yeah, cleric is fine of a word, but like, the last follower of Sylvanas.
Just imagine like Tycen watching Thorn and like Thorn really struggling when it comes to that point. Like a lot of like facial expressions and blinking and like head twitching and just like trying to find a way to word it.
I also imagine Thorn is like writing in his book while this goes down, just like everything's fine.
Yes.
Oh, well. That is unfortunate for that knowledge that's gonna bite the dust. Okay. Same polite greeting, wraps everything up again. Well, more wonderful and terrible news. Laucian is not coming in the next several days. That's interesting and unfortunate. I really want to unmake him. Swamp of Oblivion and Forge or Fountain of Creation, not open at the moment. Beloril is the last cleric follower of Sylvanas. Which is all the more annoying to me that he just wants to give up. It's helpful, but again, I know I'm sorry I can't be more specific.
So if he's not coming here,
That's the question. Where is he going? We can start. If you have guesstimates that I could try and ask, I think he's in the Feywild, honestly. Because, boy, he's good at hiding. Like, he is just not here. I don't know what's up.
I don't believe he's in the Feywild.
Would
Yama
Yama
banned
know?
him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's got a ban. Okay. That's so annoying. I need to know where he is.
That is correct, right? Like Yama banished him from the Feywild, to Tycen's knowledge.
Yes, I believe Laucian acknowledged it in his journal, and I believe the Archdruid
Uthal's
said
mentioned it.
Yeah, well, I think the Archdruid, when you met him briefly in the Feywild, said as much, that she yeeted him on out.
And he can't reach her here, so and his words were, I can't reach her there, I can't go there and hurt her, so I'm gonna hurt her here. Got it. He is not in the Feywild. He could be elsewhere, though. You could ask...
He could be any plane.
A question we could ask is he on another plane of existence? Besides this one. Not specifically which one, just besides this current one. If he is on another plane of existence, then perhaps we don't have to worry about him at this very moment or the next day.
If he's on another plane of existence, we should go to Grandpa or like High Priest Theraval and just gate that bitch.
I agree.
So good to know if we can get that set up.
I'll write that question down.
Right. We got bigger Mendardus plans to worry about.
Is Lausian in another plane of existence? I don't want to ask questions about the future. The future is too fluid.
Future is not something my deities can help with.
We need to ask about current knowledge.
Mm.
If we want to cover our bases, we could ask if the noble bandits have reconnected with Lausian, so that we can unmake them.
Okay.
I know you and I both were very adamant and very team kill, or team unmake immediately.
You were the only reason I stayed my hand.
Yes, it was good for the time being, but I still feel we should definitely unmake them. Maybe if they continue to be.
Now we can't, right? We have to wait for them to do a bad. We can't just go back on a word. That's not proper. But yes, of course.
Yes. Are they realigned with Lausian?
Sure.
I wish we could ask straight up about a location.
There is the spell I can do tomorrow. Divination, that's the one where you really should only be doing it one time a day, because that's the one you'll get random readings from if you keep doing it. That one, you can ask a specific thing in the next 7 days about a goal, event, or activity. And you do get an accurate reply, but we'd have to be real specific about how we word that one. That is a group question that we can put to the side for later.
That is indeed a good question. I'll start thinking about that.
I am definitely going to bring it for tomorrow, yeah.
What is the third question we could ask via commune? That's a yes or no answer.
Sorry, what was the second one? I've only got the Noble Bandits one.
There was the Noble Bandits one, and is Lausian in another plane of existence?
Right. The very important one.
Is Gunvor going to aid us in this coming battle?
I like that you keep calling him Gunvor.
Gunvor is a location.
I keep calling... Hold on.
So no, the forest is not coming. I'm just going to tell you that. This is not Narnia. It's...
Or does
an army of 100 treants creeps over the horizon.
They're here to kill us.
Saruman!
Belorel said as much, like he said he's gonna help us, but God, I really do think he is gonna take that info to the grave with him.
Anyone seen my Tonto?
Look, I can only hold person for so long, guys.
It's a small blade, just enough to really get in there.
If anybody can mind read and get all that precious information out of it before he offs himself. I'd be forever in your debt.
You, Goliath, you look like a samurai. Would you stand over me in case I chicken out?
We could ask if Lia's brothers betrayed us.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because we instructed him not to keep everything as vague as possible, and he was pretty close with...
You also just said Leah's name out loud several times that whole time.
Hey, this is fine. Genau.
Yeah.
There's no one here.
I said her name a lot. We were performing an investigation into the whereabouts of the person standing right next to me.
The only time when it was sensitive was when he was name dropping it in Aramil.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yes, when I
That's what I
literally
meant.
just
When you're
straight
like,
up
"Hi."
dropped it and the front door and was like, "This is Lia!" Fuck!
Yeah, because
And everyone just turned slowly to look at Tycen like, "Bitch, are you fucking serious?"
because there might be people. The issue was there might be people in that city who knows who she is.
I don't know if that'll be a super. Like, he seemed legit. He seemed earnest and to care for her, and if he betrays us, then that's a whole other thing that we're gonna break Leah's heart after we tear her brother apart. But, I kind of want to check in on Buttlord McGee, the evil teacher, stepdad. No, not stepdad, sorry. What's the...
Rundle Yelwick?
Yeah, that Buttlord. I want to just ask if he's still restrained. Is that
That's
fair?
a good question.
Yeah.
He was Lausian. You had him
Because
very tired.
Lord knows, if he has not been restrained, I think your grandpa would have sent him a message by now.
Yeah, you're right, but what if... Look,
And
silence
that
is a
message would have
powerful
been loud,
spell.
and that message would have been loud, and it would have been abrupt, and you
You know,
definitely would have reacted.
What am I talking about? I can use a sending spell for that. I'm sorry, you're right.
Do you want to just ask Grandpa how Rundle and the family's
I'm gonna
doing?
ask Grandpa. Let's just quick sending, be like, hey Grandpa,
Oh,
how are
God.
things?
We're all just having anxiety right
is
in this
is
like
he
little
still
area.
restrained? And then see how that goes.
Just
Yeah,
literally,
but-
this whole session's just one big game of phone tag.
Yes. Hey.
The moment when
Yes.
like Shini's like, oh, we'll totally only have one more session.
No.
All
it's-
questions and just
I'm-
like, oh man.
Quick, up the
I'm-
roleplay.
I'm just gonna go and tell Shar and Formal that we should start looking at 2022.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, he
The
just
name
says
of this episode should be Milking the DM for Meta.
yeah. he just he's still here. Complains a lot.
Not gonna lie, Milking the Meadow would be a great band name.
You have plenty of
Yeah,
other
fun.
words. You can also ask how mom and like dad are doing.
Yeah, I'll send
There's-
another one. Ask how mom and dad are doing.
To not including the original, just like, but also.
They're
They're
fine.
fine. End of message.
I've got one more. I've got one more sending spell for Grandpa. This one is important. I'm going to tell him the name of like Lausian, Amalian, and let him know there's like, and again, keep it under 25 words. I'm trying to paraphrase. My Grandpa knows Gate, right? Like, do I know that, or is this a thing I should be telling the High Priest?
Did
I
Grandpa
might-
Gate? No, he didn't. That was
No,
terrible.
it was terrible.
Would Gate is a Gate is a cleric spell. He can cast it.
He can? Okay.
If he doesn't have it prepared, you just got to give him enough time.
I will make the request that he keep it prepared because I might need him to pull someone through. And I'll let them know, like, either ally or Lausian.
Totes.
And he'll know.
Yeah, he responds with totes.
Grandpa's so cool.
Yeah.
Personally, I was considering if we were going to use the gate spell, I just take us to like Gibraltar's wizard friend and we do it on an island. You know, far away from all of humanity.
Did we want to try? Sorry, did we want to try that last commune spell? Even though the odds of it working are now like 50-50, just for my last sixth of the night.
It's not. You can ritual it.
Look, using all the slots, it's fine.
Okay.
What if night combat occurs?
Yeah, you're right. Okay, fine. It's ritual. Gosh. That's all the more sending spells I
and
can
Tycen
use.
is like stopping. Hold on. Wait.
Are you? So are you casting the spell again?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Again. So polite, asking the questions. Have the noble bandits reconnected with Lausian?
No.
Okay, is Lausian in another plane?
What would they say?
Did you say no, DM?
No, I'm considering the answer.
Okay.
That was a
It
no
really,
noble bandits
it sounded to
realigned
me like I
front.
heard you start to go, and you cut out.
This is one of those questions that it's like, we hit that like middle ground. Oh dear.
Oop.
They said they'll they would depends on the time.
What was that? I didn't hear clearly.
Depends on the time.
He traveling. I completely forgot our third question. Tycen, help, quick.
We asked if we didn't really have a third question.
Oh my god.
I was like, has Ganel betrayed us? Bellaril lying to us? Is Bellaril suicidal?
I mean, we know that's a yes.
We know that's a yes, but like, is he purposefully trying to die?
Asking
Like,
the gods for a suicide help.
DM,
Helpful check.
just quick question. Today have I used my sending stone at all, or was that yesterday?
I believe that was yesterday.
Okay, then I might have forgotten how the items are. Is it only one sending spell per day?
I believe so. It might be a.
I don't remember how the item.
It might be a dawn thing.
Has a dawn passed?
Well, not. Oh, yes, it has.
Because we slept outside of the forest.
Yep, it's recharged.
Okay. Well, since Viran being fighter can't really do a whole lot right now, he will go ahead and use his sending stone and check in on the general, and he'll specifically ask. You can go and go with the others. I'm gonna go ahead and try to construct a 25.
Okay. The last question.
It is 25 words, right? Is that
Yep.
correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
The last question.
I think we were gonna ask if he was lying, but that's like not even specific enough, I think. So I don't know if that's gonna help. I'm gonna ask, like, are you on Mount Celestia?
Miss. Ooh, Mister?
Well, not Mister, just whoever I'm talking with, like this divine proxy, like is its own thing.
Yes.
Are
Yeah.
you having a good
Yes,
day?
Oh.
Use this commune specifically just to ask.
That's literally what he did the
It's-
first time. Y'all don't even know.
The answer is yes.
Ooh, that's good to know. Okay, wonderful. I will relay that information.
What the fuck happens if you ask what the fuck happens if you use commune and ask a paradox?
Well, I think it's fine because you can also just answer with unsure. So we can't break the universe yet. The only other thing, I swear, I want to contact High Priest Theraval and like, just ask him as well if he can keep Gate on hand in the next couple of days.
Oh, he has to.
Oh, right, yes. Okay, well, wonderful. Knowing that, I just, tell
He
him I
has to.
miss him
Oh,
and
yeah.
hope he's
He's a
doing well.
sorcerer. He's not he's a divine sorcerer.
We could ask. You could ask Theraval, like, how are things in the city?
I
Just to
imagine he
clarify-
would respond with what I sent him, like, if things were on fire or not.
Just to clarify real quick, it's
We're
it's-
dying.
Yes.
just to clarify real quick, it's Lausian that we came here expecting, right? Or is that wrong?
Mindardus.
Mandardus. Okay, how do you spell that?
M-I-N-D-A-R
D-A-R. Thanks.
T-I-S. No problem. Oh, that's where my key tag went. Sorry.
Okay, that's all my questions. We learned good stuff. We know
Okay.
Lausian's hopping.
Okay.
Drama.
The night passes.
Hold on, I need to
I'm-
do the thing.
I'm so sorry.
I do want to ask Gibraltar if either in the morning or now or whenever, if we can make a investigation around the area to see how recent the attempt to look for physical proof of a attempt made, like any physical evidence or appearance on maybe how many people attempted to do it.
You can roll Arcana or Nature.
I'll roll nature. And I was gonna ask for Gibraltar to kind of check the ground and stuff too to see if he'd be down with that.
Sure, I'll look around.
Yeah, same for you. Nature or Arcana. I think Nature's probably better for you. Yeah, it looks like nothing has disturbed the forest in that regard.
So either... Oh, you said that in Gith. Never mind. That was just typing. Okay,
was
cool. I was
draconic, but yeah.
concerned for a minute.
I was gonna say, I know what that is.
He wouldn't say it in Gith because yes, Yes, the Dragonborn deals with Gith, but we'd be more inclined to speak in Draconic.
No signs. I will convey this over to Thorn immediately that there doesn't appear to be signs of an attempt made. So either it was attempted a while ago and the Earth has erased it, or there was no resistance.
Right, it didn't say how they were thwarted, but they were.
It just said that they were thwarted, so they could have been allowed entrance to attempt, which could spell bad things with our companion here.
Oh, I do hope he's not lying. You know, I don't want to say it, but like, there's a strong chance he is the only survivor. Why is that? Like, the odds statistically are outrageous.
Lia, let's the two of us stand guard, and I'll just have DJ stay up all night as well. And Scarlet too, I guess. Scarlet is back. Back to you! Maddie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Scarlet available?
Yeah.
Okay. Tycen would like to do just a watch between him and Lia, unless other people would like to join in on a watch. But then they can just get a full rest and he and Lia can do their 4-hour trances.
Okay.
Just keeping an eye, and then have the two familiars just watch everything.
Gibraltar will take a
Tycen's
walk.
gonna...
Sierra Low will be watching pretty much all night and sleep during the day.
And DJ is going to sit specifically near Bellarel. So that if he makes any movement or goes to wake up or anything, DJ will 100% feel it and be able to tell. And I'm not an idiot, and this time I have DJ's sheet available. How?
Aaron, you get that
I
response.
saved it to a hotkey.
I heard the thing.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. The night passes. Nothing disturbs. Nothing disturbs you. It is but a symphony of crickets and sounds of a vibrant forest.
Until the full moon rises and the priest reveals his true form.
Yeah. But yes, the full moon. The full moon does rise. And when you do hear the occasional.
If any of those wake Viran,
I
he
imagine
will...
Lia like immediately.
Yeah.
If any of those wake Viran, he will look up at the full moon and immediately pray to Selune.
Sierra Low will sometimes respond to that.
Okay.
I'm sure that's great for the group's sleep.
Hang on, I got a button for this.
But morning comes. 8 a.m.
What's time?
Yeah, the priest has laid out a bunch of stuff around the tree. He, I guess, asks to all gather if you're interested in what he's doing. But
Very...
yeah. Well, this is something that I know of in theory.
Can Thorn, like, take notes of everything he's gathered for ritual? Style?
Yeah. It's,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Like on how he begins setting it up, everything.
But he's like, but it's nothing without the secret ingredient. Pull, like, just a tarp comes up and just a curtain out of nowhere just covers the whole thing. It's not getting these secrets. And then-
DJ is under the curtain going.
I'll pry them from your cold dead hands, old man. The knowledge belongs to me and my god.
Casts inflict
Reason
wounds
we
on
declared
himself.
have detect slots.
But it is said that when high priests of old would try to be more direct with Sylvanas, he would perform this ritual. It's similar to a normal commune, but it's possibly more potent.
Ooh, more potent.
After performing the sacraments, some of my magic prowess is back. We'll see what can be done. And he begins casting a spell. It's similar to yours, Thorn, but it's a little more complicated. Extra steps added to it. After a little bit, the tree begins to glow.
Oh shit.
And
Oh,
a leaf or a one of the oak leaves falls and floats kind of like in between all the branches and then expands a little bit, glows, and you can all hear the voice. You have gained the audience of Sylvanas.
Oh shit.
What do you What do you ask?
Shit.
Do I have any way of telling that this is like actual divine shenanigans and not thaumaturgy bullshit?
Roll Arcana.
yeah. I would like to join you in that.
As someone who has used thaumaturgy for shenanigans. Or... Stat. Dare it be.
Does not seem like thaumaturgy.
Oh shit. Thorn looks both impressed and also like, look, if you could be doing this the whole time, why is your faith so busted?
Oh dear lord, we're all just like dumbstruck that this dude even accomplished this.
Speak if you have something to ask.
We didn't think this through. Out of character, pause while we get our brains sorted, holy shit.
Okay. We wanted to know.
Not good sounds, Ty. What are you
It also
doing?
seems pretty, I don't know, maybe he'll be able to give us more than just the typical yes, no, maybe so answers that I get, so.
How are you? How's your day?
What's it like where you are?
Okay,
What, you tell
we
everyone to
gained
keep
the
your
audience
war
of
secret?
Sylvanas. Clearly we have his attention.
Look, even if he wants to
We need
answer
to ask,
us,
I think, some of the same questions.
It's pretty much 10 o'clock. Can you get through the questions now?
Yes. Sylvanas, it is a pleasure to meet you. We are facing a great threat, and we request to know the movements of Laosian.
I know not where he is.
Does not know where Laosian is.
It's probably off some other plane right now, or somewhere unnatural. Yo, I want to ask about the Astral Sea. I don't. I've suddenly lost it.
Do it.
Oh man. Oh my gosh.
Because I don't think we really have any other questions.
Okay. Then again.
I have one more though.
Okay. Politely introducing himself. Because this is like pretty awe-striking. I want to ask. I can't. Do I want to ask like why they wanted to keep that Warth secret, or what they found that had to be kept a secret?
Is that what you
Question
asked?
is, will he answer that?
Well, I don't think he'll take kindly to either question, but I'm curious.
Well, if you say this out loud, he hears you.
No, I haven't said anything out loud yet.
I'd say just ask both. We don't know how this particular communication works. We just know he's doing it in a temple, so possibly it's extended. We're getting more answers.
Oh my gosh, yeah, sure. I'll ask what Sylvanas found in the Astral Sea that he didn't want anyone knowing about.
That is not of your concern.
Yeah,
Well, there's that answer. What were you gonna ask, Tycen?
I do not wish for your teachings to die with this person here. You are someone whose name has been taken falsely, and this is your last true follower. And their name is not known, and neither is yours very well. At least not in the light that I believe you would like it to be seen. Would you permit your teachings to be in some way passed down to someone, to be given to someone else, or pass down that knowledge to someone else? So that when the time comes, your faith is not lost.
There's somewhat of a pause.
I would like to approach the tree a little bit more.
Okay.
I personally have not worshipped a deity in a long time.
Is Tycen saying that out loud, or is that...
Yes.
Okay.
He's saying all this out loud. But even not worshipping a deity I have respect for knowledge. And I would hate for a deity such as you, and for the teachings of someone such as you to be lost to time, never possibly to be found again.
There was a time when I may have told you. But great powers stemming from your plane have made it quite clear that mortal problems are to be solved by mortals. We do not feel that our magic is necessary.
And this threat you speak of is Lausian, correct? The danger to the bringing the elementals across the plains.
Lausian is insignificant in all of this.
Ooh.
Sorry, what was that, Akuma?
No, I just went, oh.
Okay.
These go beyond mere mortals.
Then what threat is it that you do speak of? You have withdrawn from this plane. Obviously, we must have done something.
It was not you, or say, but those who have passed and have become something more. But power that they manifested, though, was with the help of the Fae.
So the Fae are partially responsible. That was kind of like a question mark at the end.
Were it not for them, these powers would not have risen. And likely
Okay,
the-
who's Mike?
Kuma, a lot of your stuff is bleeding into the chat here.
Jeez.
Yeah, Chad. That's all I heard over and over again from this mic.
Would not have risen. Were not for the Fae. Then assist possibly this mere mortal in understanding something that he does not quite understand. How can you blame the actions of the Fae and punish those of the mortal realm by withdrawing? I understand you still gift powers to those here. This cleric of Sylvanas is an example. Thorn is another.
We do not punish. Nor are we obligated in the first place.
Then what happens when all of your followers are gone?
That is yet to be seen. But those who seem to have pushed us out do not fear any consequences of that.
How would we reach the ones who pushed you out?
You would have to take that up with those who rose them to power.
I turn around just to see if anyone else has anything they would like to say.
I'm sure I'll think of 20 things later. I'll regret not asking, but I'm drawing blanks right now.
Yeah, I have nothing.
Right, like in character, I'm sure Thorn would be happy to chat the heck out of this god tree, just about everything, but out of character, I got nothing.
Right.
How close are the gate to the Forge of Creation in the Swamp of Oblivion close to being open?
They are in the same state that they have been for thousands of years. More or less dormant, with what a mere trickle of magic coming out.
So they tried, but they failed. I thank you for your time, and I do intend to return here. I do not want your teachings to be lost to time, and I will do everything in my power to ensure that that does not happen. Your cleric of Bellaril, I pray they have done well in your honor, and I hope that the teachings that you have passed on do not pass away with them when they go. If in any way you can aid us in the coming fight against Laucian, as he is a false cleric using your name to his own gain, we would appreciate it, but we understand that you have withdrawn from this realm. I wish you the best from Mount Celestia. Do you like pie?
God
Farewell.
fucking damn it.
You
He
like
leaves.
jazz?
The magic starts to fade, and the tree resumes its normal form.
Before it does, he's just like, and yes, I like pie. So now what the fuck do we do?
Yeah, I want to turn around and look and see how Thorn is doing right now.
It's just starry-eyed. Like, y'all, we just talked to a god. He's just vibrating.
He's just vibrating.
That's pretty great. How's poor Belleril doing? Is he alright? How's he doing?
Nope, he's he actually looks pretty unfazed.
Oh no, I haven't heard from my god in so goddamn long. When
Right,
you
just
run
rush
up
over to
just
like,
that.
did you hear that? He was just talking with us. Right there. More than a yes or no, that's incredible.
Yes, but it changes very little.
Why are you not more excited about this?
One can only wait so long before he stops caring.
What the fuck? Okay.
I waited
That's
500.
the
Okay,
worst
I wanna
answer
get-
I've ever heard, sir.
I want to get a feel for how this guy is. Does it seem like he doesn't care because he doesn't believe this was actually Sylvanas who appeared? Or does it seem like he doesn't care just because he doesn't seem to care? And that he's just at the point where nothing phases him? Is it like, did he have any reaction at all during the whole Sylvanas encounter? Or was it just repeating the motions and it seemed like he was at this point mindless and giving up?
I think he doesn't look like he doesn't care about anything, but it's
I mean, if that was me, I would be endlessly distraught after hundreds of years of protecting a temple of a god who just doesn't care anymore.
maybe.
Yeah.
Like, I can't catch a read with this dude.
I mean, you heard Sylvanas. And to be honest,
Have you
I expected such an answer.
Have you attempted this type of thing before?
Oh yes.
And the
Has
result?
he answered like this before?
Early on, a lot of dodging the same questions that you asked. This was centuries ago. The answers became more and more vague. And slowly the answers stopped. Quite surprised he even showed up this time at all.
Did he act surprised when he showed up?
He seemed a little
Like
yeah,
a DM?
a little bit of like, well, a little bit, but not like not like he's flipping his shit over it.
They
Meanwhile, Thorn is just bouncing like, this doesn't change how incredible it is. In fact, whether Sylvanas cares or not, unfortunate as it is that he's just maybe given up, has more important things to do, as he said, I don't see how that changes your duties, your love of nature, protecting this world. That hasn't changed.
What makes you think that I stopped doing that? That's what I want to know, because what it seems that you're more upset about is the fact that I didn't uphold the organization, more or less.
No,
'Cause- Because that's what's
I'm-
truly fallen, if anything.
No, I'm less concerned about the societal impacts of that. It's just and you are one person, so I suppose I can forgive that. It's just for all the time you've had, and this is the result of it. He's like looking at him to get a gauge of like,
This is-
don't make me say you could be doing more, but you should have been doing more.
I upheld this temple for 600 years without very little bit of advice or anything.
This
I-
temple, surely, but what about the forest? What about the worlds beyond? What about this realm and all that's natural in it? Are you just anchored to this one temple?
I have not. I guess what is it that you mean? What is it that I've stopped doing? Because that's. Or are you putting all of any decline of nature at off, or at the responsibility
No,
of
not
the temple?
solely yours. Goodness, no, that would be outrageous.
Because that did not stop. I did not stop trying to. It's just that without much help, we're not going, or at least without much manpower, those under our banner are not going to accomplish much. It's... Like I said, there's other factions aiding nature. Did what I can with them, but you can quite imagine after some, especially after the Remnarian Empire, some may not have been as inclined to work with us.
I suppose not, seeing how you did tear each other apart, and that was a whole thing. I won't pry further.
It's let's see. Uthal was outside actually at the time, and he kind of comes in a little bit hastily. Something's wrong.
Joy!
What's happened?
I was communicating with Yama. She said there's been an intrusion in her domain on this plane. She's quite furious.
Where would that be?
He said
Yama.
who's furious?
Yama, his patron.
Okay, got it.
There's
Yama.
been an intrusion on Yama's plane in the Feywild from someone here.
No, her domain. Or her
Oh.
on the material plane.
Vaimei-Laga?
No.
Wait, are you saying hold on, are you saying like someone came to Yama's domain
There was-
as in Yama's
there
where
was-
I saw her?
No, there was something from another plane smashed its way through and is now here under her we've not covered this so much, but Yama's archfey of the mountains. Something else has
Oh.
come through.
And it's
And crashed into the mountains.
somewhere in the mountains. She said it's left. And now Shinrin is... It's moved into Shinrin's domain. But she is...
Shinrin?
Yes. Another Archfey. She holds...
S-H-I-N... What spelling?
She holds dominion over the forests. And she's apparently distraught. But possibly another one of her forests may be destroyed. As what happened last time, something similar happened. But this time it's different.
What is this?
I don't know, but Yama warned that Suki of the moon is on the
Suki of the moon.
Is on the warp. She's on the warpath. She is angered by this, and we must be careful.
Is Suki of the moon the one who sent that, or is she just enraged because of what's occurring?
She's enraged.
Okay.
About the
Oh
same.
dear.
About the same time, Thorn. Well, about now.
Oh.
I'm just gonna put this in. I'm just gonna put this in the Fancy Grounds chat.
Oh.
You get this from Theraval.
Oh goodness. I will immediately relay that it headed west, so yep. Headed our way. Something terrible and large. I will thank Theraval for that. And ask that he keeps safe as he can. Let him know I'm
We all need to use nothing. We need to just... I think at this point we just need to fuck hiding and be ready. Whatever this is, it knows we're here.
Do you think it was specifically for us or for this place?
It's
Could
heading
be
west.
Mindardus.
In our direction. It could be Mindardus, but it was heading fast. And if certain people are enraged and we're reaching the point of like deity level shit.
Mindardus was the
Archfey.
Earth gem, right?
Yeah, then they'll be able
Hmm.
to sense our presence. Which means he likely already knows we're here, and we have to operate under the assumption that they always know our movement.
Well, are we going to make preparations to meet it out there, or hold ground here?
This is where he said they would be reuniting.
Well, I mean, I assume that giant, terrible thing is Mindardus or a thing they summon and is coming from the west to us. So it's coming this way. We might have a chance to intercept it a little further out.
But the question is, do we want to intercept it and be farther away in case it just straight up ignores us? And can we even stop it? If it's heading our direction, we guarantee it's stopping here. If we hold our place and all prepared to attack at once, It's heading our direction. We have no information on whether or not we can stop it. Or stop its current movement.
Do we know how far away it is?
We do not currently. But it's smashed out of the mountain. It's gonna be here. Like, we got not a lot of time to prep for this.
Oh, he just dropped an Atlas of Rindico in the chat. Oh, for Vondel. Oh, okay. That's the Vondel Mountains.
Yeah, it's like right on top of us for a thing that big.
I'm gonna reach down and kind of grab the ground for a minute, and I'm gonna feel. Do I feel heavy vibrations yet? Anything changing in the forest around me?
Not...
Anything that would indicate something is moving fast in our direction at all?
You don't feel anything at this time.
Okay.
We have a little bit of time to get outside of the walls and like a little bit into that thing's.
Yeah, I'm thinking we don't want to be in here. If
No.
it's coming specifically and it's gonna crash into this damn tree, I don't want to be in here. I want to be outskirts of it, but I don't want to be very far from this temple.
Oh, for sure. Like, it's coming here to smash this place to bitty boot. We want to stop that, preferably in advance, but be within movement range that if things go south, we can do something about it. So.
DM, I want a quick run to my vantage point and gaze off in that direction intently and see if I can see whatever might be coming.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll jump in my broom. I'll jump in my broom and fly straight up.
Alright.
I'll fly up as well.
Thorn, do you want to hop on the broom?
Yes.
I'll pop Thorn up on the
I've
broom.
never been I don't. Aside from being missed, I don't think he's ever flown. Like, yes, get on that.
Let's see. 22 miles. So you see, where you, from where you are, you can see the mountain range in the distance. You do see you can see what does kind of look like a plume of, not smoke, but dust. But it looks as if it has already begun to dissipate. It's not being constantly, doesn't seem like it has a constant source. On just barely the edge of where you can see it, there appears to be something kicking up some dust. Dead east of your position.
So toward the straight at the mines. Okay.
Yeah. When just for context, if Therivel said Vondal, he would have been referring to the city that is the underground city of Vondal. It would not. It would have. He would have specified Vondal Mountains if he meant the whole range.
And the city of Vondal. Wait, where is that?
It's where Mines of Vondal is. There.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh,
you
I
said
see
there was
the. I
a
see
mine
the. I
collapse.
see the area. It's right
Yeah.
by OST plains. It looks a little different shaded.
Yeah, that. Don't worry, that's gonna look better in the next. I've already made a different map for the future, but yeah, that should look better next time.
Yay, maps.
Or not, or yeah.
Is it of any significance that I'm using Eyes of the Eagle and a spyglass?
I thought you wanted to attune to those to be attuned to the spell mantle.
He does. I believe.
Well, right now I'm attuned to the bracers, the armor, and the eagle. So I don't know.
I thought
Yeah,
you
the
tuned to the
braces-
mantle of spell resistance.
Oh yeah, I hadn't updated that. It was. Yeah, there you are. I do have magic resistance on you, so you did put on. I do remember you put on the mantle. I think it was the eagles. Because I believe you kept the armor and the bracers. You do have the spyglass. So, actually, go ahead and roll perception. You will still have advantage with the spyglass. Nope, not that. Well, you would notice one thing. There appears, seemingly ahead of the dust, there does appear to what looks like a couple of treetops that seem to always be ahead of the dust. Not big trees or anything like that, but it's kind of hard to tell what it is. But there's appears to be some sort of terrain that is possibly moving.
Ahead of it.
Yeah, because it never gets consumed by the dust.
Oh my god, it's just got 5 trees on it.
It's the lion turtles from Avatar.
Yo, let's just go. Shadow of the Colossus. I'm here for it.
I'm just gonna keep watching intently as it approaches.
Alright. So, what's the party's
I want
intent?
to ask Baloral if he's coming out there with us or if he's holding the ground and.
He'll come outside. He's not gonna get up in any trees or anything like that, but
Right.
I do need
It
to
might
put.
even be worth it to keep him hidden, because maybe it's him that it's coming to smush. I don't know.
I do need to swap out his sheet because now he has actually spell slots, but not a whole lot. Yeah, he comes out. While you guys are watching, some of you notice in the actually, yeah, they wouldn't actually not really hiding themselves. In the tree line, you see a series of wolves. Including a dire wolf.
Lia.
The wolves walk up and they're looking at you. And they're looking around. Sniffing.
Baloral, are these your allies?
Do any of these look like a winter wolf or any of the wolves that we've seen with the winter druids in the past that they've been shifting into?
They do not.
I'll gesture to Lia.
What do you want her to do?
Can you find out what they're up to? Can you speak with them?
She'll nod her head. She'll go over to here. The big wolf walks up.
I just realized I had the big map covering this map.
Yeah, if I just get the stupid map patch to behave. You see that she. What is this? Where is this, Lia? Is this a? Yeah. You see her use a ritual.
Tycen next to Thorn.
You see her use a ritual. And she appears to be talking to this wolf. One of the wolves comes up, and she kind of like not pet it like a dog, but kind of just like stroke the side of its head. Appears to have some sort of communication. Then the wolf turns around. And
smacks her.
It grabs her and runs away. it's,
oh, at this point, I would not be surprised given. Oh, so you are Lia, mine.
Yeah, you just
drop wild shape, plane shift with Lia.
You just allow see it. Haha, get fucked.
I have got who I was searching for this entire time. You all have failed in your mission to protect her. Haha.
Yeah, I was like, Call of Duty mission failed. Shows up on the campaign, and that was insane. But anyway, they walk away, and the other wolves seem to also walk away into the forest. Though they do start heading west. So no, sorry, east. And they disappear in the distance.
What did they say?
They said they are the spies of Suki.
Oh.
Oh. And what did you tell them? Did that we mean them no harm? Or
I did.
What?
I did. It's not wise to upset It's not wise to upset an archfey.
What information did you gather from them? Or just that?
They're looking for the intruder.
Ah. Are they going to help us?
They cannot. But they're merely gathering information. They wouldn't.
They're gonna kill us. I say this like out loud, just like, kind of like looking up at this guy, just. Ugh. Please don't smite me, Archfey.
Akuma floats over, gives him head pats. Don't worry.
I reach down on the ground and I just kind of feel it for a moment. Yama, if you can hear me, I just got your powers. I really don't want to die at this moment to an Archfey's temper tantrum.
I don't think she's angry at us. They're looking for something from another plane.
And I think it's the floating Earth coming our way.
Oh.
Thorn, we should probably set you down so that, you know, I'll fly down. I hope you enjoyed your time in the air.
It was incredible.
I would love to take you on a ride where we are possibly less endangered sometime.
That
Indeed.
would be wonderful. I'll like give him a big hug and cast Death Ward.
Cast Death Ward.
I believe in you. Fuck. Okay, I'll make a note. I'll make a note. I have death. Oh, you've already given it to me. Never mind.
You're good.
I'll
You're
still make a
fine.
note that I have death ward, in case for some reason it doesn't transfer over.
Like, you're fine.
Basically, like, you're the only one who's not allowed to die.
Oh. Well, that only helps him once. So we'll see.
It's okay, I got more 4th levels, baby.
It's fine. We're fine for now.
What should we do?
Prepare for attack. We need to get a safe distance away from this place and hide the person.
Right, the laurel needs to be hidden somewhere safe.
We all just turn around and he's already gone.
Gibraltar. Gibbsy.
Are you yelling up at him? Because he's just.
Yes. Oh, yes. He'll whisper it at first and then realize like, oh, Gibraltar's in a tree. Gibraltar! Can you make some kind of hut to hide this dude in, or like up in a tree or something?
Didn't we do that earlier?
No, I made a hut for me. And it's in the trees area. So it's not exactly going to be effective.
I don't
Because
know
I'm
if we have-
getting the assumption that this entire area around the tree is going to be fucked.
It is going to be fucked.
I would like.
Please make him run the other way. We have a fight coming.
I would like to question why you wish to send me away now after wanting me to do more.
We've gained more information. Specifically, in fact, that you were the last surviving follower of Sylvanas. We do not want his teachings to die today.
One would think this would be a perfect time to possibly deal with
Perfect time
those
to-
that are misusing our teachings, but
Can you
Or if-
actually fight?
He has fought in a war before.
to a degree, yes.
I look him in the eyes. Sir, are you intending to suicide your way out of this fight?
Well, death is
No matter his
nothing.
answer, I would like to tell if he's telling the truth or not. But
Alright. Roll insight
Like-
on the tower.
May I tower insight as well?
Yeah.
Because it's
Um,
so worry.
Say, while death is not my desired outcome, if it is a result of defending this temple, then it's so be it.
yes, but
Can
you
I
are not
tower insight
purposely
as
going
well?
to try to.
Go
Can I
ahead.
tower
Akuma,
insight?
did you want to tower?
Yes.
Did you want to tower insight or no?
The answer is yes to anyone.
What was that?
I'll just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Fuck it.
He, yeah, it seems like he's being genuine when he's resolved to not just dying.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good if we can secure him close to.
For the Emperor!
That's the
Oh,
spirit. He's
Lord.
finally come around.
If we can keep him close to Thorn or myself, because I'm assuming, or at least, how do you intend to fight? Do you intend to be more support, or are you going to be more upfront?
into the jaws of death. No. It's,
Oh dear lord!
it's like I actually have the hollow one background.
Oh Jesus!
I started my adventures in Barovia, you see. I would
It's a
be better.
background. It's a background. I thought it was a race.
No. Hollow one's a background specific to Curse of Strahd.
Aw. Tycen rolled
Oh,
a nat
okay,
19
we're
on
not-
being
okay,
strong for
we're-
Thorn.
All right, we're not talking we're not talking the Wildemount race. Okay.
No.
All right,
Um,
got it. That's great that they put two things of the same name. Fantastic. Good job, Wizards.
Hey, that was Matt Mercer.
Okay,
Oh, actually, I guess it's fair. I think those are called hallowed ones.
Yeah.
And I don't fucking.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I'm probably better support.
okay, we're gonna need him to stay back by me and Thorn. Unless Thorn tends to be up front. Actually, wait, where do you intend to be, Thorn?
Judging by the size of this thing, that is a very good question. Given what I'm normally good at, might have to switch things up. We'll see. I don't believe being up close will be of much benefit to me if this is Nindardus, the mountain, literally coming for us.
If it's
I'll just be-
Majardis, my assumption has been correct this whole time. Yes.
So here's what I'll do.
stick.
I will cast delayed blast fireball centered on myself. When they hit me, it will be the last thing they do.
Oh, what's that? What's that one armor? DM, you should have him be wearing Last Stand armor. That fucking one that like explodes when you die.
Fireball.
We're gonna get out the scorched earth armory. Open
Okay.
presses a button in the walls and you just see all these weapons.
Judging from how far away it was, do we get the sense that it is going to arrive today within the short amount of time?
It's definitely on a path or on track to meeting there today. It's probably still gonna be a couple hours because that is still a track to go, and it is marching at not a horrendously fast pace. But
it's still moving enough to create a cloud of dust.
big enough at least.
Okay.
Yeah. And moving enough and big enough to kind of kick up some stuff, but it's not like it's gonna be in the next hour, but it's likely today.
Everyone, get your spells in line. Where do we need to be? Who wants to be where? If it's approaching from the east. Yes, that is the east.
Yes.
Then I should probably be at the west side, so that I'm not the first thing it encounters.
Is this the map we're gonna be on? Setting up fortifications?
Genie.
I'm guessing yes if you intend to fight here at the temple. Or at least in the
That was
vicinity.
also a group question. Do we
Yeah.
want to try and meet it or hunker down here? Because it wants to do whatever it's doing here. Do we want that to happen or just meet it out there?
That's fair. That's actually very true.
We still need to keep a close eye on this, because I don't know if...
Oh yeah, if it
meeting
gets
it-
past us, shit's going down. And I mean, if it's in range to throw anything at it, that's also very bad. What it wants is here. Maybe it's gonna eat the tree. I don't know, dude. It's bad.
But my fear is that while we're attacking it, something else is going to approach the fortress from behind, and we're not going to see it because we're not here.
For sure, like there's always allies that are on the way.
So personally, I feel we should just remain here so we get a perfect eye on it, and if it, we know exactly what it's doing.
For sure. My lament is that.
Ourselves...
Sorry, my regret is that something that large, all of my normal slow down control methods aren't gonna do anything. But I'll do my best.
You could try to launch it out early.
Launch what out
Be
early?
Be a bit further out front and then launch it once it gets in range.
No, I meant more so that it's so large it's not going to do much good.
Okay. Gibbsy, do you have to be up front, or are you just as effective further away?
I can be anywhere.
Okay, you should probably be a little closer up front, just in case Viran needs help. Viran and Uthal. I'll try to stay back here. Akuma manage crowd control with like fireballs.
Indeed.
But keep a distance, I'd say.
Right.
For this fight, I don't think you should get melee. We need to try to maintain distance if we can, specifically you and me, because we're going to need to deal out dishes of damage.
Yeah.
And I whack around with the staff of fire in my hand. I could cast some spells. Damage I do not have in short supply.
It's like, I can cast spells.
So.
Okay.
I think we need to move to our position. Oh, I'm gonna dismiss DJ.
Oh, okay.
I do not want this poor baby killed at this moment in time.
Gibraltar has eyes on the shifting treetops as they're getting nearer, so.
Yes.
Okay.
Which way is east on this map?
That way. Or that way. If I can draw it straight, for God's sakes.
Okay, so it is coming from that direction.
Okay, I'm just gonna remove this. I'm just gonna remove this cover token. This hole is not here. Ignore this hole. This was in case of an entirely different scenario that is, in fact, not happening.
That's what she said.
Yeah. And it didn't happen.
Nice.
Uthal would be more up front. I don't know where Lia wants to be. Is Viran
charging
staying
forward
in
at
the?
it.
Is Viran staying in the area of the thing? I think we're all kind of moving to our locations.
No, I'm not. I'm just haven't been in fantasy rounds in a hot minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be up front with Uthal. Like, okay, so there, I guess. Hold on, there.
Yeah, because it's approaching from the east.
Oh, from the east?
Yeah, it's approaching from the east, so I was going to say something like maybe right here, not necessarily directly in front of the tree, in case it's just going to barrel right through you. I don't want you to be crushed by literally the earth. Tycen's going to be over here. And he's going to be in a tree, but on the broom. So he's not resting on the tree, he's resting on the broom.
How far would it be from me at the start of combat? I don't know if that's a sensitive question or...
You don't know what it's gonna do when it gets here. So.
I mean, that's not what I asked.
Well,
I asked how far from me it was.
I mean, assuming it shows up here, 60 feet.
Okay, alright, so it's appearing from somewhere. Okay.
It's moving fast.
Tycen, do we want to try to stay quiet on its approach, or do we want to hit it as fast as possible?
I feel like Viran and Uthal should just hit it. Us in the back, we should probably, I'll try to stay quiet and see about keeping an eye out and crowd control in terms of keeping an eye on the field and seeing what's coming from the back in areas.
I gave Cyril orders to basically patrol our rear flank, and if he can't handle anything that comes his way, to alert us to it. That way he stays out of a fight where he'll probably get one-shotted.
Understood.
As for Gibraltar, he's going to go about 200 feet away from the group towards the thing. And the moment it's in max range, I'm just going to start shooting at it and running back. Or regular speed backwards.
Ooh, do you want... Wait, it would only... No, that won't work, sorry. Wait, I could give you Holy Weapon. That's concentration for an hour, actually. I thought it was... If you want to take, like, super powered shots at that thing.
Yeah,
but you would have to be with him.
No?
I can
it's
wait
not his weapon.
head out that distance until I know, like, it'll be there in my range within a couple minutes, and that'll give you enough time to actually put that on and be useful.
Sure. Maybe Tycen could even fly me over quickly if that were the case.
Yeah, if... I can even lend Thorn the broom, so then it's not like the broom is going with disadvantage. I'll just toss Thorn the broom briefly.
Right, for sure.
Alright. So, you guys make your preparations. Time, it gets to about, 6 p.m. when it finally, starts to get close. You can feel the ground rumbling with what feels, with every step of whatever this thing is. Gibraltar, if you move forward, when it starts to come into line, at first it's concealed behind the trees, but the first thing you see, as it's walking forward, you see a man walk out of the tree line, or well, walk out of the trees that are currently blocking the path. But
Hey, it's me, Scarce.
yeah.
I want to die.
Well, he's not. While as in this picture, he's carrying something else. In fact, he's carrying a big ass scythe. And then after that, you see about six more people come out of the trees. They appear to be Amalians. And they are walking ahead of whatever this is, and then you see the trees kind of, some of them part, some of them are knocked down, as a gargantuan creature moving forward. At first it looks like it is a massive chunk of ground moving, but then you realize that it does have, you can make out claws or legs with with kind of stubby claws, and it does have what appears to be that of a face. And you see this.
Aw, that's a big friend.
Oh yeah.
It's Torterra.
Basically.
I'd ask what's in its mouth, but I'm too scared.
Dirt. But
Big old friend.
You know, it reminds me of the big I was gonna say tortoise, but no, turtle. It reminds me of the giant turtle who takes you to the water temple in Majora's Mask. That big guy.
but they are casually walking forward with this thing thundering behind them.
Viran like turns around, like kind of whisper shouts over to Thorn, you know, however far away he is. Thorn, can I tell you a secret?
Yes!
I'm a little fucking scared.
I believe in you so much right now. You probably won't die.
Why can't your what the fuck is it called? Death ward. Why can't your death ward have a longer range?
Just does the shrug.
Yeah. I'm gonna put them on the map just to show their formation.
Dang. Hey, that's a good fireball range.
And additionally, you do on top of the Torterra, you see what looks like one of the many elemental generators that you've seen.
Oh my god, I love this art for it. I want
There's
to
an
kill
Earth
it, guys.
Elemental Shifter in the top corner.
What? Oh.
Oh, is that just... Oh, never mind. Wait, is that...
Yeah.
That's not there?
It's not there. It was just
I'm
yeah.
assuming...
Is that what was gonna originally be?
No, that has nothing to do with the
By-
whole.
By the way, the big red square, does that have no token for anyone else? The thingy?
No, we
Torterra?
see it. I see it. It's adorable.
Oh crap.
Can't
I don't
confirm
see
I
its
see
like
it.
token.
It's so cute. I love
Oh
it. Look
yeah,
at
it's adorable.
Isn't it cute? I want to kill it. It's a baby.
I can see the elemental generator, but like right below it, I don't see the token for
Question:
it.
Did it change for you?
Oh
Yeah,
no,
I
it's
see
not
it
cute
now.
anymore.
All right, now.
Kill it.
How about now?
No,
Now it's gone.
I see a different token for it. Like the first time I saw a token, completely different token.
Tycen, look at this baby.
Okay. Question: What's it?
I see the token now.
Okay, you see it now.
Like now I see this token. I sent screenshot in casual. Ah,
Because I refreshed the.
hold on.
I changed the token and then changed it back.
Yeah, I saw the change in the token. I saw a completely different token than this current one, and then this one.
Okay,
popped
so
up.
that all right, it fixed it. That's what it's supposed to be. I gave it a different Zaratan token and then changed it back just so that it would try to load it again. It must have just failed to load on your client.
Yep.
It's fixed now. That's happened before. Oh, usually it's something like mundane, like an orc. It's but yeah, they're just casually marching forward. So now, Gibraltar, you moved 200 feet out from here?
Yeah, 200 feet out from the group, and the moment they're in 160 range, I'm going to be taking pop shots at Mendardis.
Would you have given enough time for me to pop Holy Weapon on you? Get that?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, let me boop that on. Oh gosh. Effect. Did that work?
Okay.
Let's hope so.
So you do that. And you will get the chance to well, I'm gonna go on a limb, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm guessing we don't want to get into a holy hell fight at 11:07.
Yeah.
Okay, then we will. You firing off that shot is where we will pick up next week.
Yay!
Good. I don't think we ever addressed the details of how many arrows I have, though.
Oh, I am pretty sure you were bought enough arrows
we bought
to
a
possibly.
shit ton.
Yeah. Given the party's gold resources and the quiver you have now, consider arrows to not be a problem.
Yeah,
Well,
we good.
Because I think this is the same day we got the efficient quiver that I bought a shit ton of
Yeah.
arrows.
Yeah, it is. You would have to go through a couple hundred rounds of initiative, I think, before you'd burn through them all.
Yeah.
And that's not happening.
Yeah. But we're in the final stretch, y'all.
Indeed.
DM, quick question.
Yes.
I'll probably be asking this again next week, but does the elemental generator count as a creature?
It does.
For
I think
purposes
it
of
counts.
specifically, okay, cool. Because yeah, I was gonna say if so, I'm actually in the perfect position to on my first turn just go ahead and just use my Ring of Starfall and just get 5 targets.
Oh, I was about
Yay.
to. I was. Yeah. I had a. Well, I'm gonna write a note so I do it next turn.
Yeah, I got
This is a
options.
good spot to end.
Right, we've got some fun range that'll
Yeah.
be happening next game.
Indeed.
Because I can possibly disable it in one shot with the staff. But it's gonna mean I'm gonna be there for a round of combat alone.
Although
That's a
it's
bad idea.
It's gonna be a distance away, so range shots are probably going to be end up hitting it first. But
Oh, it's not gonna be ranged by 500 feet. Dimension door to it
Oh.
when Gibraltar starts his attack.
Hey, I'll be able to help you out too.
but let's hold that thought. We'll talk strategy because I have a thing I might be able to do with Akuma that could possibly help me.
you can talk about it in the in between time when we start, I'm just gonna say we're gonna be in we'll be in
Yeah, we're
initiative.
going straight through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Like there's no more time. There's no more time to dilly dally here.
Yeah.
Okay. I will just last second call Akuma to be close to me because I have a plan.
Okay.
And Akuma, if you want to hang out for a brief moment, I can tell you my plan.
Sure.
If you
Depending on who rolls higher in combat, if you roll higher than I do, you dimension door both of us to the generator. When my turn comes up, I use my action to do the elemental strike. And then I'll channel 2 sorcery points, bonus action to dimension doors back.
Okay.
So that way it's essentially a teleport there. I hope you have it prepared.
Dimension door?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Oh, and if any of you are wondering what the deal with the hole was, the scenario, because it's a moot point now, but the scenario, if you guys had came here and they were already here, That's where the Zartan would be.
Oh,
geez.
Where?
It
Where?
would have been. It would have been in
right
this
where
hole.
the 10-foot down.
In
Yeah.
the hole?
It would have been in the hole. It would have been. It would have been concealed.
Oh.
But that's if.
Oh.
But that was if you guys came and they were already here and some time had passed. If you came in within a certain time frame, you guys got.
It would
here-
have gone.
Yeah, you guys got here before it, so therefore it wasn't in there. So.
Yeah, it would have gone snapping turtle on us and just like. "Rah!"
Yeah.
And
Man,
GM,
those fuckers are
just get-
vicious.
remember next week a point of order and how I'm retreating. Since it's favored terrain, I can go through the difficult terrain of the forest without being slowed down, I believe. So I will be retreating through like thick underbrush and such. So if they try to actually pursue me, they're gonna have to go through
Okay.
difficult terrain.
That's noted. But yeah, then that's next week we'll pick up.